Hi guys, welcome to my very first cleaning marathon video. This is a bit of a YouTube trend where I have strung together some of my best clean with me videos for some cleaning motivation. This video is over 3.5 hours long, so you can just clean along with me, put the video on your TV, on your iPhone or iPad or whatever, and just clean and keep going. We can clean together without having to worry about the video stopping and interrupting your flow. So I really hope this gives you loads and loads of cleaning motivation to get everything done that needs doing in your home. Some of this footage was filmed in our old house and some was filmed where we're living now, so see if you can spot which is which. Now please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified whenever I post new videos. I do loads and loads of cleaning videos as well as vlogs, hauls, all the kinds of parenting tips, tricks, hacks and advice, all the life hacks you need. So I hope you will love all that kind of content. I would love to have you as part of my community. And do not forget to give me a little follow over on Instagram as well. Now let's get on with the cleaning. As you can see, I was not joking. There is so much stuff dumped in the hall that really needs sorting. The playroom is not too bad, just a bit of a mess, needs a bit of a clean up in there. The kitchen has had loads of stuff dumped in there too. And the laundry room, well, is absolutely wedged full of all the laundry that I have not been doing for the past week. The lounge just needs a bit of a tidy. My ring light needs moving, back at the office, that kind of thing. That is a clean, dry duvet that Zara weed on before we left and had been washed. Bella's room's a tip. My room is absolutely full of clean washing that needs putting away. Bathrooms need sorting. There's my bedroom again. What a tip. Zara's room is as usual bomb site south. So I'm starting off by just checking out this big bag of stuff that it's mostly packing cubes. So just sorting what needs to go upstairs. The bag with packing cubes needs to go upstairs and sorting through what needs to go where. Dumping the stuff at the bottom of the stairs, it needs to go up the stairs, and then sorting through all these bits and pieces. Things like the sun cream, that's like my out and about syringes of medicine. They've gone back in that red box by the front door, which is ready to grab when I'm on my way out of the house. Now all this stuff just needs carrying upstairs, ready to get sorted. The way I like to kind of sort things is by starting with the entrance hall and clearing that. That way if we have visitors, at least they don't think we live like absolute pigs, because the entrance hall is clean and tidy. That's the children's TV boxes, they're kind of travel boxes. They've gone upstairs too. So then it's time to sort out the shoes by the front door. I've got to start somewhere, and like I said, I like to have kind of the entrance to the hall and the downstairs loos right by the front door kind of sorted. So I'm starting, I've got a little bit of Zoflora diluted in that pink bottle and wiping things down. Next I've got a bit of Flash bathroom and letting Minky soak in a bit of that while I wipe over the mirror with my Pledge, my little microfiber cloth and my sort of reusable duster thing from B&M, which I love, as do the girls. Then just giving the sink a little bit of a wipe over. This is just a little sink, little quick job, but it's right by the front door, like I said. So I like to have this area nice and clean and tidy. It leaves a good first impression if anyone's surprise shows up. And then once I've cleaned it over, I like to wipe it over and like dry it with a microfiber cloth. I have so many of these. I will link them below, but you can never have too many of them, because if you're doing a big clean all in one go, you can go through them and then chuck them in the wash and still keep using the others. So Flash bathroom to clean the toilet. I'm using the same one that I used for the sink, and then I'm going to use it to clean the loo, and then it can go in the wash straight away. Just giving it a good old wipe around, and then using the loo brush to clean the inside of the toilet. And I think we're going to grab some bleach and chuck it on down there, because that just makes sure that it's left sort of hygienically clean. I am now cleaning the rubber gloves with a bit of Zoflora and then some hand wash, because obviously the rubber gloves have touched the toilet, so you've got to wash them the same as you'd wash your hands. Now for using a little Dyson to vacuum round. It's easy to, there is a long extension, but sometimes it's easy to just get on your hands and knees and do it in such a small space like this, and just do it manually. And then popping all the shoes away, because it really stresses me out when they are absolutely everywhere, and shoes are something that have to go away from our packing anyway. So getting those away on this little shelf, and then this room is not far off done. The coats need to go back in. I try not to have too many coats there at one time, but you know, they do tend to mount up. And then I'm just doing this little trick with the toilet roll, fold it under, and use this tap to stamp it to make it look really neat and tidy, and then a capful of Zoflora down the loo to finish that room off. I did make sure that I flushed the loo before putting the Zoflora down the toilet, as you'll notice, so we're not really mixing the chemicals, but a bit of Zoflora down the loo does make it smell amazing in there. So then for clearing the last of this surface by the front door and giving it a quick dust over, next job is to put the stuff that belongs in my car back in my car, because we actually went in my husband's van when we went away, so this stuff was dumped in the hall, and then I can get out my trusty little handheld Dyson and just vacuum all around. I do feel if this rug is clean and tidy, then the whole of the entrance hall feels nice and clean and tidy. So that is the downstairs hall, entrance hall and downstairs loo pretty much done. Next is the lounge. Now the lounge is not that messy, so I'm literally just straightening up the cushions, moving my ring light back to where it belongs, which is in my office, and then just giving a little dust around the surfaces. There's not that much stuff in the lounge. Just a quick dust over the TV and then a quick Dyson around, and then that's the lounge pretty much done, other than a quick spritz of Zoflora. I do like a bit of Zoflora to freshen up the place. And that was just one capful of Zoflora and diluted with water. Next job is sorting a lot of laundry. I normally do laundry every day, and we've been away for a week, so I've hardly done any laundry. I think I did a load or two while we were away, but that is nothing. It's not going to make a dent in it. So do not forget to empty the fluff out of the dryer, people, because it makes your dryer work better and it stops it being a fire hazard too. So I'm shoving in a load of nappies now. That's just going in a quick rinse, and then that's my power hour done. Basically, I brought all of the stuff back from holiday and dumped it upstairs. So today's job is to sort all of that stuff that I'm unpacking, all of the packing cubes and things, unpack them, put them away. So that was a big bag that I had all the packing cubes in, and now it is time to sort all of these packing cubes and all the stuff that was in them into the relevant rooms and places. So I'm using these curver boxes, which you will have seen me use loads in my other videos. I just use them more than anything, not really so much for storage, but for sorting things into where they need to go and taking them from room to room, kind of like mini laundry baskets. So I'm just starting by sorting all this stuff. All this stuff is clean, by the way. All the dirty washing had been separated out and put into the laundry room. So this is stuff that was either not worn while we're away or washed while we're away. So it just needs to go away, really, into its actual home in our home. So yeah, just, I don't know about you, let me know in the comments. I do find when you get back from holiday, just the mass of stuff that is not in a place where it belongs creates such a mess in the house, and that just makes the whole place look really unclean and untidy. And once you can get everything put away, then you can actually make a dent in what needs to be done with the cleaning. But so often in my house, whether we've been away or whether it's just a normal day, it's the tidying that takes even longer than the cleaning. So I can actually make it tidy enough to clean. So yeah, definitely let me know in the comments if that's just me or if you feel that too. I also find that everyone seems to have one room in the house where all the stuff kind of congregates ready to get sorted. Now this has always been my bedroom, and it was a lot worse before we had our laundry room sorted. I will link my laundry room tour in the cards now actually, so that you can watch that and see what I do to store laundry, because it used to all be sorted in my bedroom like this. So my bedroom used to look like this all the time, just with clean laundry ready to go away, and now it just looks like this after a trip, so it's not as bad. But yeah, also let me know in the comments, where is your kind of dumping and sorting room in your house, because we all have one. We know we all have one, and it's just a case of just identifying where it is and tackling it, and usually trying to tackle that first, because once that room is sorted, then that's kind of the most of the work done and out of the way. So you can see here now I'm just finishing tidying up around my dressing table area, clearing the last few bits and pieces, putting shoes away and things, so I can actually start cleaning. And I'm starting by dusting the higher up surfaces. I like to dust before I change the bed because I figure any dust that I kind of agitate and knock around the room can then stay on dirty sheets, and then the dirty sheets can be changed into nice clean sheets. So I'm using my very favourite, and it is Zara's favourite too, like fluffy duster. The head on this is actually washable, so I can just dust with it and then chuck it in the machine, so that makes it super eco-friendly, and it also means I like not having to buy more. I like not running out of things, so just in the amount of time it takes to wash and dry it. I have it back, so I've got two. I've kind of got one on the duster and then one in the wash, so I've always got one to hand, which is great, and I find it picks up really well. I don't have to use any product. I mean, sometimes I use product and cloths as well, but it sort of depends what mood I'm in really, or what kind of surface I'm cleaning, but I do find this really great, so you can pick those up. I got mine in B&M, I'm sure they sell them other places, but yeah, I'm doing the whole bedroom with just this and no product really today. Next job is changing my bed. So what you'll notice me doing here, once I have stripped the bed and taken the duvet out of it, is I always re-button up the duvet cover before putting it in the machine, because it stops other bits and pieces like pillowcases and things getting caught in the duvet cover during the wash cycle and getting lost basically forever. The next thing you will notice is that I'm bringing in my clean bedding, which is stored inside one of the pillowcases. So when I put my clean bedding away, I fold it all up, not perfectly or anything, just fold it up and put it inside one of the pillowcases, so the whole set is easy to grab and find. The other thing you will probably notice is I have not ironed my bedding, because I don't have time in my life for that. That is something I've decided to be consciously incompetent at doing. I don't iron bedding. Sorry, not sorry. That's all I can say really. Let me know in the comments. Do you iron bedding? Is that something you make time for in your life? I've just decided it's not a priority for me, because I've got other things I need to be doing, and my life is chaos, and I don't know, maybe one day when my children are grown I'll find time to iron bedding, but right now it ain't happening. So I am unbuttoning the bedding, because obviously it was buttoned up to go and wash, and placing the duvet inside it. This is a bit like a workout because it's huge, but there we go, it's worth it. Buttoning all of that back up, and then I just kind of smooth it out and shake it off as best I can and make it as flat as possible, even though it hasn't been ironed. So with every room I tackle, I always like to tidy first and then dust, so sort of the higher surfaces, and then bedding if that needs doing, and then onto the floor, which is where we're at now. I've grabbed my cordless Dyson to just do a quick whip around the carpet, which picks up any bits that have been dropped through the week, plus any dust that's been knocked onto the floor while I've been cleaning. So then that's my bedroom finished, looking about a gazillion times better than when it was covered in unpacking and stuff that had been dumped there. Next I'm on to Bella's room, which looks like this, which is just no good. It's not a mess especially because we've been dumping stuff from unpacking, it's just a mess because it really needs tidying. So I'm starting off with making her bed. I always feel like if a bed is made in a room, it's looking much cleaner and tidier, whether it is or not. It is definitely creating the illusion of being clean and tidy just because the bed is neatly made. On to a bit more tidying. All of Bella's soft toys live in this bean bag that doesn't physically have any beans in it. It's used for soft toy storage. Honestly, if you're not doing this, it is great if your children are anything like mine. They have so many soft toys. It's a great way to store them. You can also store blankets, bedding, anything like that in it, and it's still reasonably comfortable to use. It's one of my favourite hacks. So yeah, another thing I will say, as you can see here, I'm trying to get the children to help me clean and tidy. Is it that helpful really for them to be helping? It's probably quicker to do it myself if I was on my own, but it's not about that. It's about getting them to muck it in, about getting them to take a bit of responsibility for their own things. If they know that they've got to tidy their own rooms, they're less likely to make it such a mess, and they're more likely to be a bit more proud of their rooms, and eventually, they're going to grow up and live on their own, and someone is not going to pick up after them. So if I'm kind of gently introducing the you know, the idea that it's good to help and for us all to muck in and do it together, and then we can all go and have fun together, then I just think that's nice. As you can see here, Zara has got the other duster, because both of them are clean at the moment, and she's just going around dusting whatever she thinks is helpful. Like I said, it's not really helpful, but she loves just joining in. Then once all the room's been tidied, so that's the order we always do, tidying, then dusting from top to bottom, and then the bed, which I didn't change the bed today, just made it in Bella's room, and then the floor, and then that's Bella's room tackled, and we're on to Zara's room, because Zara's room is even worse than Bella's room, if you can believe it. So I've got them all just mucking in, putting away toys as best they can. There is accessible storage in each of their rooms, so although things might not go exactly where they're supposed to go, they have the ability to put things away of sorts. So I'm folding up blankets, putting away toys. Zara's bed needs making. She's recently started sleeping in the big girl's bed. We've not yet got rid of the cot because she's only been in the big girl's bed for a few nights. But hope it's that the cot can go soon. She's getting such a big girl. That'll actually free up a bit more space in her room, which will be nice. So once all the tidying is done, I can grab my duster. Oh, there we go. We're about to start potty training. That's what that's all about. Bunny is sitting on a potty. You see, we found this potty during the course of tidying up, the bunny-sized potty. Another beauty of tidying with your children is they find all sorts of treasures, things they forgot they had. So Zara's room is not far off done now, as we're on to dusting, moving all her bits and pieces, dusting around them and then putting them back neatly. We're also nearing the end of the power hour time that I have allocated before we've got to go and do other things. So it's just a case of really cramming as much in as possible and rushing around, just fitting in as much as I possibly can these last few minutes, giving Zara's room a little vacuum, and just see, it just looks so much better than it did tonight, where you just couldn't see the floor. And look, Zara's dusting the floor. See, she's so helpful, so helpful. She just loves joining in with whatever I'm doing. First job for today, and I'm really hoping to finish the whole house today. The first job is the playroom. Now, you probably, I don't know if you caught it recently, I did a massive playroom declutter. So all these boxes are stored with different types of toys in them, and the children know exactly what needs to go where, and they are supposed to help putting the stuff away. It doesn't always happen, sometimes it just gets left all over the floor, a bit like today, but I'm really, where I can, encourage them to put stuff away themselves and to just muck in when I'm tidying up. So then I always like to straighten out the sofa cushions. This sofa kind of comes apart quite a lot. The cushions sort of fall off and then it looks a right mess. So once it's all tidy, I always start with dusting. As I've said in my previous videos, I always do tidying first, then dusting from high down to low. Then I do bedding if it's a bedroom, and then after that I can do the floors. So I'm just using a little bit of Zoflora and a microfiber cloth on this table, partly because it is covered in felt tip pen, because it's where they do colouring. So I'm just trying to get those off. It's washable felt tip, so it comes off quite easily. And then it's just a case of straightening out the rug and grabbing my little cordless Dyson, which I love because I can pick it up and put it down. It's not a right pain to plug in. The children aren't tripping over wires and things. It's not a big deal to sort of have to put away when I'm finished either. Oh, and look, Zara's helping by dusting the floor again. So helpful, darling. And that is the playroom done. So on to the kitchen now. The kitchen is, no, it's not a terrible mess, but it's sort of dusty and needs a bit of a clean. So I'm just using my diluted Zoflora. It's a capful of Zoflora in a spray bottle, diluted with water, to just spritz down all the surfaces. It gives it a little bit of it kills off all the germs and nasties and makes it smell amazing. So I'm just working around the countertop from the breakfast bar towards the sink, moving all the bits and pieces out of the way. This area is all covered in crumbs because it's next to the bread bin and toaster, and just sort of I sweep all the crumbs towards the sink as I clean, and then just kind of buff up the granite so it looks all nice and shiny again. And then I just really like to try and keep the surfaces as clear as I possibly can, because if the surfaces are clear, my family members are less likely to dump things on there. If there's already piles of stuff, they just add to it. It just happens. Tell me in the comments, is that the same in your house? Do you find that the messier your house is, the more mess that the family makes? Most people tend to find that. So I'm just wiping down the windowsill, which doesn't get done every day, and it's quite dusty and mucky, as well as the countertops and then the sink. I'm using a little sponge here, as well as loads of Flora to go around the sink area, which is a bit more grubby than the rest of the countertops. And then once I've done that, I tend to like buff over it all with the microfiber cloth as well. Then I am running the tap, because that's the waste disposal unit, to put all the to wash all the food down there, and then finishing wiping over the sinks with my microfiber cloth to kind of leave it dry. I find the sponge doesn't leave it dry enough. And now I'm putting the plug in. I've got a cap full of Zoflora, my favourite Linen Fresh at the moment, a cap full in each sink with the plug in, and then I pour a bit of boiling water in there, so that is that can, you can put any sponges and things in there to get them all clean and fresh. It also makes the room smell amazing, and that smell wafts right through the house. And then on the last section, countertop over in the corner of the kitchen, just moving all the bits and pieces. This area tends to get just a bit neglected and dusty, if I'm honest. It's not used that much. Like by the sink gets wiped all the time, but this area doesn't get used as much, so it's more likely to get a bit dusty. So I'm just wiping all of that over, and then that's pretty much done for that room. Now this is actually the laundry room. I've got a sink and a worktop in there, so I've moved into the room just off the kitchen now to wipe off this area and this sink too. The laundry room gets quite a lot of abuse because it's where all our dirty laundry gets done, so all our clean laundry gets sorted. I will link my laundry room tour in the cards now, because I've got a sort of a different way that I used to sort laundry, and it has been absolutely life-changing for me, because it means that the other rooms stay cleaner and tidier. Now we're back upstairs to my bedroom, and this is the bedding that I stripped off the bed yesterday. I am folding it up, not like perfectly, but just sort of roughly folding it up. There's the, who knows how to fold a fitted sheet thing, just do your best with it. Fold the sides in, the tucked under bits in on itself. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the important thing is storing it. So the way I store it is when it's all folded up, then I store it inside one of the pillowcases, because then the whole set is easy to find. You can grab the set and then pop, it's just easy. You're not looking for bits and pieces that are lost. So yeah, if you don't store your bedding like this, start now. It will change your life. And as I said in my last video, I don't mind bedding. Let me know. Maybe this makes me a very bad person, but I don't, because I have time in my life for that. So now we're putting laundry away in my airing cupboard, which is in my ensuite just off my bedroom. I used to just have all the towels. If you look back at my house tour video, which I'll link in the cards now, this airing cupboard was just a whole mess of towels. All the things were just shoved directly on the shelves. I've since sorted them into these baskets, because I can grab a basket and fold things within the basket quite easily and find things much better. It's not all falling on my head every time I open the door. So sorting things into baskets, all the towels are recondo folded into these baskets, and it's just been so much neater and easier. I'm also hanging up various bits in the airing cupboard hanging rail. It's where I hang stuff that is damp and that needs to be dried off, because it's a nice area to do that. Now I'm taking out all of the towels and things from the bathroom. I really find that if you really want to do a quick spritz for the bathroom, which is really what this is, we're not doing a deep clean the bathroom at all. If you just want to make it look clean and tidy, you just kind of do the bare basics, and that's strip out all the yucky towels and wipe the sink. And really, I do not have much time today, so that is all I'm doing. I'm Zofloring the windowsill, and then I am using a minky to wipe the sink. I'm not even getting involved with the toilet and the shower and things, because I just don't have time. But by doing these things, like wiping off the toothpaste and stuff, and just tidying up and moving the towels, I find the whole bathroom just looks much cleaner and tidier. And because I'm using Zoflora, it smells great too. So yeah, this is very much a speed clean, not a deep speed clean, if that makes sense, because the name of the game, as I said at the beginning of the video, is finishing the house. Having said I'm not touching the toilet, I am bunging a cap full of Zoflora down there because it makes it smell good. And I am folding the toilet paper. I'm folding the corner of the toilet paper in on itself and stamping it on the tap because it looks all pretty, like a little folded letter envelope thing. Anyway, onto the children's bathroom, cap full of Zoflora down the toilet just to kind of disinfect and make it smell nice. And then I'm just tidying up. As with the last bathroom, I'm literally doing the windowsill and the sink today and not really tackling the toilet or the shower because that's a job for another day. The bathroom was literally deep cleaned quite recently, so this is a very much a surface clean, make it look clean and tidy kind of clean because, as I said, this is all about making my whole house look and feel clean and finished as opposed to it being really, really deep cleaned. You can't do everything all the time. So today is just a quickie really. So I'm using these towels to just wipe over because they are all going in the wash, and literally all the towels that are looking dirty and untidy are all going to be washed, and then that makes the bathrooms look much fresher. And just put a nice clean towel out and do the little stamp the toilet roll thing. It looks great. Onto my teenager's bedroom, which isn't too bad because I do make him clean his own room. He's 15 now, he's more than capable of doing that. I'm just making his bed because I was looking in at it and it wasn't very nicely done and it was stressing me out. So now for putting nappies away, Zara will be potty training soon, so we won't be doing that much longer, but that's my nappy storage unit, putting those away because they were just out. And then hanging up some clothes that have come out of the iron cupboard that were dry and needed to be hung up and away in my wardrobe. And then onto my office. Now, don't look at that corner of the office. That's stuff like boxes of things that have been sent to me that I haven't dealt with yet. You've got to have somewhere, haven't you, to hide rubbish, and the very corner of my office is where I hide mine. So I'm just trying to kind of tidy away. There's lots of other bits that can go away and can stay nice and clean and tidy. I'm just tidying all those away, and then I'm doing a little Zoflora wipe over with my diluted Zoflora and my microfiber cloth of my desk and on my workstation thing, just because I'm sure lots of germs and yucky things accumulate there, and as I said, Zoflora makes it smell great. And then this area over here, that's having a little wipe over too in the corner of my office. And then on the landing, just wiping over the Calyx units, and then on to my youngest son's bedroom, which again isn't too awful. His bed just needs making. I do encourage him to make his own bed, but he's only 7 and not brilliant at it yet. He'll get there. Just folding up his blankets and things. I'm going to wipe over his desk for the same reason, just to kind of disinfect it, make it smell nice, make sure that the surface is clear, and wipe over his table that he uses a lot as well. And then that's it. That's my house as finished as it's going to be for now. That's the hall done, the lounge done. They were both done the first part of the video. The playroom is done. That was done earlier in this video, I think. The kitchen is looking better. The laundry room. And then we go back in the kitchen again. And then upstairs on the floor, my bedroom, which we tackled in the previous video. That's Bella's room, which hasn't got too messy since I did it yesterday. And Zara's room. And then on to Dylan's room, which wasn't too bad, just moved the bed in there. The bathroom, which just had a really quick once over. My ensuite, and William's room, and my office. I started off by clearing the landing, putting the case that needs to be emptied off my bed, along with all the other stuff that needs to be sorted, and then putting away all the clean and stuffed cloth nappies that were there in boxes, ready to be put away into the cloth nappy unit.
That's where I'm helping Mummy.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I might have to redo that, but thank you for trying.
I'll help.
With all the cloth nappies away in this Calyx unit on the landing, at least one area was clear, which was the landing. I then went to tackle my bedroom. You can see I've got these little baskets, which I shall link in the description. And I use these, I've got loads and loads of them. I use them to sort stuff into as I am tidying up around the house. So I use them to sort things into which room they belong to, and then everything can be easily carried from room to room. They're small enough for children to carry from room to room as well, and I give them their things in these little baskets. My next job after emptying the case and clearing the bed a bit was to empty the clean dry washing out of the airing cupboard and to plonk it on the bed ready to be sorted into where it belongs and which rooms it needed to go into. I don't know about you, let me know in the comments, but I personally find that often when I do let things get on top of me like this, there's so much putting away and sorting and tidying that I've got to do before I can even get to any cleaning at all. So I did today what I always do, which is hang my stuff straight up and then sort everyone else's into clothes per person ready to be hung into their rooms. Then I took all the clothes that had been sorted and hung them up in the relevant children's rooms. As you'll know if you watched my decluttering Zara's wardrobe video, I like to hang the girls' clothes up in rainbow order so I can easily find them. I have made a slight change since I made that video in that all of Zara's clothes that don't match Bella's, so basically the stuff that used to be Bella's that Zara's got now because Bella's grown out of, live in Zara's wardrobe, and the outfits that match, that the girls have got matching dresses, live here in Bella's wardrobe because Bella's got a much larger wardrobe. Also, all the tutus live on the tutu rail underneath, and I separate the clothes that belong to Bella as opposed to the clothes that belong to Bella and Zara out with these wardrobe hanger separator thingies, which I should link below. So all the stuff on the left is the girls' matching dresses and the stuff on the right just belongs to Bella. I went back into my room to pick up all the bits that had been dumped on the floor out of kind of hand luggage and stuff, and put the rest of the bits from the baskets away, putting things away in my airing cupboard, and just have a little tidy around my ensuite bathroom, putting away toiletries that had been delivered with Tesco order and stuff, and just generally tidy the place up because it was looking like a bomb site. Then it's on to tidying up my dressing table. It really stresses me out. My dressing table is really cluttered because it is so nice to have somewhere in the mornings to get ready that is kind of clean and tidy, and I can find everything and have nice clear surfaces, because clear surfaces make me happy and clutter makes me stressed. So I just gave my dressing table a little wipe over with a bit of Pledge because it was super dusty and disgusting, and just generally give it a nice clean and clear. You'll notice this is the first bit of actual cleaning I've managed to do in amongst the sorting, and yes, my dressing table is probably not the most pressing area in the house that needs cleaning, but, oh, and this is a nice sign that my friend gave me when she moved away. Anyway, this is not the most pressing area that needed cleaning, but it was a small, manageable area that I could tick off my list and something that was stressing me out, and I sometimes think starting with something that can be achieved quite quickly, an area that is stressing you out the most, is kind of important to do, don't you think? Let me know in the comments. So whilst I had the Pledge out, I dusted the rest of the surfaces in my bedroom, all around the television, tops of the units, before straightening the bed out. Didn't bother to change the sheets on this occasion, and then just gave them a spritz with my bottle of fabric softener and water mixed. I will link the bottle below. Then I grabbed my trusty cordless Dyson. The floors are generally the last thing I do in the room after the tidying and the wiping of the surfaces. So that's my room looking a little bit tidier. Then it's time to go and feed the children their lunch, and while they're eating their lunch I did a bit more sorting in the kitchen, generally putting things away and tidying and clearing surfaces so that I was able to clean. My next job was to refill our fridge jug where we keep squash so that at meal times we've got a nice cold drinks. Then it was time to spray and wipe all the surfaces in the kitchen. Inside this pink bottle I have got some Zoflora, my current favourite, I think it's called Spring Fresh. I've just got a capful of Zoflora in there, topped up with water, and then that is used on all the surfaces. Everything smells amazing and it's got disinfectant properties. I have got loads of these microfiber cloths which I bought in a big pack from Amazon. I will link them below. I use them for everything, they're fantastic. I've got pink ones I use in the kitchen, yellow I use for sort of dusting general other areas, and blue for toilets and bathrooms in the loo. And then they all get washed with a scoop of Mio Fresh sanitizer for the washing machine, which I will link below as well. these little cloths that I'm using are a bit like the minky cloths that Mrs. Hinch uses. They are kind of a scratchy scrubber side on one side and a soft microfiber side on the other side. I've got them in a multi-pack. I will link them below. They're a very good value. I only use the soft side because the scratchy side would scratch the granite. Then I finished tidying up the rest of the bits and pieces that need putting away in the kitchen, wiped down the rest of the surfaces, moving everything, wiping, putting everything back so it's all nice and clean and tidy. Then I gave the children's toy kitchen a little wipe over where they do their cooking while I am cooking too. Then I moved on to the table where the children had finished their lunch, tidied away the children's bibs, sprayed and wiped the table. Like I said, starting up high, working down to the chairs and then the floor, and then giving it all a nice clean so it's ready for our next meal. Then I started to tackle the laundry room, which is normally nice and clean and tidy because I have a very strict system for staying on top of laundry as a family of 6. You can see my laundry system and laundry room tour video flashing up on your cards now. But yeah, today I just had to put everything away that had been delivered, like my fabric softener and washing powder and things that have been delivered in a Tesco order and I haven't even put away yet. There's stuff out drying and the surfaces need a good clean. So I'm starting up higher, wiping surfaces as I went down, cleaning the sink out and making everything clean and tidy and shiny again. Then I moved on to the floors. I took my Dyson and did the kitchen and the laundry room floors. Then I grabbed my Bylida 1-2 spray, or Vera as Mrs. Hinch calls it, to clean the floors, which is filled up here in this trigger area with diluted Zoflora, and you just squeeze the trigger and squirt it on the floor and then wipe it over with that pad and it cleans and disinfects the floors and the floors smell amazing. So I did this all across the kitchen and the laundry room, and then that with those 2 rooms pretty much done. You can see all the yuck and disgusting mess that came off my floors. Yuck, yuck, yuck. I've got 2 of these pads, one on and one in the wash. So I threw one in the wash and I replaced the pad with a clean one so it is ready to go for next time I need to clean the floor or there is any form of spillage. So that is the laundry room done, and the kitchen and the dining area all done too, just with clear surfaces and a bit of a wipe around. It looks quite different. I then moved on to the lounge, which was basically the least messy room in the house because the children rarely ever go in there. I was giving the cushions a little Zoflora spritz to freshen them up, then a bit of Pledge polish over the windowsills, the shelves, the tabletops, things like that. Then I grabbed the Zoflora again to just quickly spritz the curtain fabrics to freshen them up, as well as the rug that had a bit of a Zoflora treatment as well. Then a quick Dyson round the floor, and that was the lounge done. Then it was time to move on to the playroom, which really did look like it had been burgled, and it often looks like this because the children make such a mess. I am a big fan of really trying to encourage the children to tidy up their own mess. They don't do a brilliant job of it, but nonetheless I do try and get them to help me, even if I've got to quietly go around and do it again after them, because I think it's important that they learn to pick up after themselves. Once the majority of the toys were away and I could actually have some space to clean, I grabbed my yellow cloth and my Pledge and I started up high, always starting up high and moving to down low for spraying, wiping and polishing. Then when I had finished with all the wiping and polishing of sticky finger marks on things, I sorted out the sofa cushions, gave them a little spray with my Zoflora and vacuumed the rug. And that's the playroom looking a lot tidier. Not quite sure how long it will last, but hey ho. Then I moved on to the hall to sort out the dumping ground that is this table. I really like having clear surfaces in the hall. I feel like if our entrance hallway is tidy, our whole house seems much tidier, yet this is the main place that gets really, really cluttered. As everyone comes into the house, they just dump things here. So once that area was decluttered, I gave it a little wipe and then put the suitcase in my under the stairs area, which desperately needs a declutter. It's kind of my dumping ground, but I hide things behind that screen. Then I vacuumed the floor and the hall was pretty much done. Once I had finished the hall, I headed up to Zara's room. Now, Zara is only 2 and is a big fan of making a huge mess, and the others, in all fairness, do play in her room as well, so it's not just her making this mess. The bed isn't even for her to sleep in yet. She will sleep there eventually. It's just for her to sit on, for having stories, and for I sit to feed her in the evenings before bed. But it still gets played in and messed up, so that bed needed making. And then just all these toys needed putting away, all the books putting away. She loves reading books, but she does not love putting them away. Now, a little mum hack for you. I store all of the children's soft toys in a bean bag without any beans in it. So they all go in there. It's not quite as comfortable as a normal bean bag, but it'll do, and it's a really good place to store all the soft toys so they're out of the way, the ones that they just don't want to get rid of, but what on earth do you do with them otherwise? So once Zara's room was tidy and the books were away, I gave a quick dust around the place, a quick vacuum, and then moved on to the children's bathroom. I find the easiest way to do their bathroom is to empty everything out of it and then get started. I use a bit of Flash bathroom and another one of those cloth things that I showed earlier and linked below to just give the whole thing a good scrub, and then a little shower down, another wipe round and rinse down until it's all nice and clean. So once I'd cleaned the bath, sink, shower and toilet, I gave the floor a little vacuum and popped all the stuff back in the bathroom. I am starting today's power hour as I like to by getting a load of laundry on. That way the machine is working while I am cleaning. It's cleaning clothes, I'm cleaning the house, twice the amount of cleaning is being done. And that way by the end of the power hour I should be able to swap over and do another load. So I'm actually putting a mixed load in because I'm quite on top of the laundry and I haven't got 2 separate loads. So I'm using this reusable colour catcher. You're supposed to tick them off as you wash. I never do that, if I'm honest. I just use them until they go a dark grey colour and then they become a clean-up cloth. So those are fantastic. I will link those below. And then I'm using my method. My favourite combination is the purple, the laundry wash, and the pink one. I don't know what they're called, just the purple and the pink one, but I will link them below for the fabric softener. Now I'm back upstairs in my room and reaching for some cleaning supplies because I do like to have cleaning supplies near to where I plan to use them. So here we've got cloths, we've got a duster, we've got some freshener, oh there you go, Zara's pinching my duster. And then in the bathroom, up out high, out of the way, I keep this glass cleaner, so I will be using that. We're starting in my bedroom today, which has a lot of glass in it. If you've watched our renovation updates, you know I bought a lot of this stuff from IKEA, a lot of the furniture, and I have invested in the glass tops to go on top of the dressing table type. The dressing table has got a glass top on it, on top of the units like the chest of drawers and things, because I think that they will sort of stay nicer for longer. Otherwise I do find that the white can get kind of nicked and you end up just with sort of scruffy looking tops of the furniture when the paint is chipped and things. So the glass tops obviously just need cleaning a little bit more to kind of polish up. They sort of attract dust a bit more, don't they? Now onto my dressing table, which I am cleaning off all the bits and pieces, and starting with the mirror. We have got a lot of mirrors in our new house. I wanted mirrors to kind of create the illusion of more space, which is great, but it does mean there's a lot of cleaning to be done, which, you know, it's a bit of a pain, isn't it? So I'm liking the mirrors, and I'll get back to you on having done a lot more cleaning when we've lived here a bit longer about how much all the mirrors are driving me nuts for fingerprints and cleaning and stuff. So we have got a little hack that I'm going to try on the bigger mirrors in a second for cleaning those, so stay tuned for that. So that's my mirror cleaned and the glass on top. Oh, hang on. I had to pause from cleaning because Zara wanted some spray on neck. That's perfume. Well, that's what the girls call my perfume, spray on neck. So anyway, back to putting my little tubs of hair brushes and makeup brushes and things back, and then moving around. I'm kind of going around the room in a clockwise direction, and then as I'm cleaning and using these cloths, I am putting them into a bucket ready to be washed. I'm just using a little bit of Zoflora on that, by the way. That's diluted Zoflora, which cleans and kind of disinfects, to do with the door handles. The reason that the skirting boards were so sludgy, I think we still got a bit of building dust going on. Even though the place has been cleaned, I think after you've done a lot of building work, you get kind of building dust. It seems to just come from nowhere. It comes from nowhere, and then anyway, you have to keep cleaning. If you've lived in a new build or you've had an extension or anything, you'll know what I mean. Now to tackle some big mirrors, and I need my folding step because I am only 5'4" and I can't reach the top otherwise. So I'm using the Method glass cleaner, and I'm also using this thing. Is it called a squeegee? Is that the word that I'm looking for here? This one's actually from IKEA. I do use this for cleaning things like the shower, which I shall do later on. And I thought maybe it would be a quicker way to clean these massive mirrors between that and a microfiber cloth. So I will try doing a couple of doors with it and a couple of doors without it and see if it makes much of a difference. The only problem with it obviously is it like collects the liquid, which you don't want running onto the carpets. You've kind of got to have the squeegee in one hand and the microfiber cloth in the other. But I think it's making it quicker. I don't know. I don't know. Let's try one without as well, shall we, and see if it's not making a difference, or if it is making a difference. So if we do this door with just the cloth, I don't know, is that quicker? Not sure really, not sure. I think the problem I tend to find with mirrors and things, I tend to apply too much product, and if you apply too much product, there's too much to rub off. So being sparing with applying product seems to be the answer to making cleaning and things like mirrors a little bit easier, because when you really slather it on, you just end up with a really soggy cloth and having to change the cloth over and over and over, and just more to kind of wipe off. Trying again with the squeegee now. I'm undecided. I'm thinking it might make it a little bit quicker, but perhaps just because I applied too much product. Not sure. Let me know in the comments. Do you think using squeegee is the way forward for big mirrors? Anyway, on to another glass surface now, which is my top of my bedside cabinet thing. These little cabinets, I think they're called Malm cabinets in IKEA. The glass is almost as much as the actual cabinet itself, but I do think it's worth it for it to stay kind of nice. Now we're using my homemade fabric refresher, and this is just some essential oils, some bicarbonate of soda, and some water mixed up. I have got the instructions for exactly how to do that and to buy the bottle and things linked down below in the description if you want to make your own fabric refresher that's kind of a bit more natural, but want to make your pillows and fabrics and things smell divine. Now onto the windowsill, which is another little kind of dirt collector. I'm not going to do the blinds because they were actually done a couple of days ago. I am going to Zoflora the radiator. Not that the radiator is going on at the moment because it's quite warm, but if you do Zoflora your radiators, when the radiators do come on, they smell amazing. And then back to some more skirting boards, and we've gone through a few cloths. They're soggy, so they're going into that basket and they're going to be washed at the end of this power hour. And now to vacuum, and oh look, there's my little hair tool organizer. One of my followers recommended that in the comments of one of my videos. I bought it and I love it. It's for my hair straighteners and my hair dryer. My hairbrushes go on top in buckets, but yeah, it's fantastic. Right, on to Zara's room. Zara is my youngest and I think my messiest child, if I'm honest. She is only 3, so in all fairness. So I'm just picking up all her bits and pieces. I'm not doing like a thorough deep cleaning here. I am picking up her soft toys, which go into the bean bags without beans. Bean bags without beans are the best thing ever. You just buy a normal bean bag, either without beans or empty the beans out, and use it to store soft toys. It's not quite as comfortable, probably, as if it did actually have beans in it, but it's an amazing way to hide all the soft toys and keep them so that the children can access them and they've still got somewhere to sit. Honestly, if there's one thing you do for your children's rooms, do that. Now I'm just going to make Zara's bed, which is a bit of a mess as well. I don't need to change the sheets because they were recently done too. And then we're moving on to vacuuming the hall. We've not got much of a landing in this house, but then it's less carpet to have to vacuum, isn't it? So, you know, every cloud and all that. And I am going to clean the bathroom, but first I'm just going to grab any bits of like obvious dust and things with the vacuum cleaner. And then into Bella's room, which is a bit of a mess as well. She's normally pretty good at making her bed, but you know, not so much today. Folding up her onesie and stuffing it into the hood. I do that when they're going swimming, to put it into the swimming bag. It kind of keeps it nice and neat, but I do it to store it in the house as well because it just creates a bit more space, doesn't it? By storing onesies like that, sort of makes them a bit neater to store. I'm clearing Bella's table. They have a bottle of water to go to bed, those little sports bottles, and for some reason she's got 3 of them. She's been collecting them and not taking them back down to the kitchen, so they all need to go back down to the kitchen. And although I wasn't going to clean as such in here, I was just going to do the floors. This table is dusty, so it is having some diluted Zoflora and it's just being wiped just to get rid of the dust and the yuck. And now just to fold up her blankets, or her blankies as she calls them. She loves blankets, honestly. She just, like, blankets are toys to my daughter, to both of them actually. They adore blankets. And then to just give the carpets and the rug a little bit of a vacuum, and that room is pretty much, that's all I'm going to do in here, to be honest, because, you know, I've spent quite a lot of time in my room and I do need to clean the bathroom. So first job is to grab all the towels that need washing and to empty the bathroom bin, and then I'm going to just stick some bleach down the toilet. So while I'm cleaning the rest of the bathroom, the bleach can be doing its thing and, you know, cleaning the toilet for me. Now for some Method multi-surface and a cloth, which I keep in this little drawer under the sink, and I'm going to wipe over the top of the bin because that was a bit dusty. And now we're going to start up high and then work down. We've got a bit of Method glass to do this mirror. The Method glass, it's got a reasonably nice smell, the mint smell, but this Method pink grapefruit just smells amazing. I did try the Method bathroom cleaner and it worked perfectly well and it smelled okay. It smelled like the mint glass cleaner, but the multi-purpose pink grapefruit does it for me. I can use it anywhere, so I could take it to a different room and use it as well, and it does the same job, but I prefer the smell. And to be honest, if I prefer the smell of something, I'm more likely to clean. It's just, I'm that basic. So now I'm just wiping over the drawers because they get toothpaste spat on them, and now this very, very dusty towel rail. I don't know how it's got so dusty. Like I said, we've only been here a couple of weeks and it's really, really dusty, and I have wiped it already, but I guess we are still experiencing the building site dust. Wiping over Zara's step, which I did buy, a little grey step to match the room, and I'm really pleased with that actually. And now to do the shower. What you'll probably notice in the corner of the shower that I'm wiping now is my soap dispenser. So I've got shampoo, conditioner and shower gel in there. It means we don't have to have any bottles in the shower or taking in and out of the shower, because, you know, I read Marie Kondo doesn't leave shampoo bottles in the shower because it does leave gunk, doesn't it? You end up with like gunk rings around the place. It's just a place to collect dirt. So I was taking them in and out of the shower and wiping them and being a good girl and putting them in the cupboard, and it was such a faff. And I do like just having this little dispenser. I also find it dispenses a small amount, so I'm not wasting as much product. So far so good, and it sticks to the tiles. You don't have to drill. So now, as you will see, I'm using the glass cleaner again to do the inside of the glass on the shower. This was really quite gunky gross as well. Inside and out, bizarrely. It had been splattered with, I don't know, shower gels and all sorts. Even though I do use like a daily shower spray as well, so you know, it's not as bad as it would have been. But it's just surprising how quickly things get all gunked up when there are loads of people living in a house, I think. So I've used the Method glass for the glass and the multi-surface pink grapefruit for the shower tray. And now I'm doing the outside of the glass as well. This is our main bathroom. There is a shower downstairs and downstairs bathroom as well, but not as many people use that one. So the majority of people in the household tend to use this bathroom, which is why it's the one that gets the dirtiest. It's nearly done with the shower now. It's nice to have it all sparkly clean. The question is, how long will it stay like this? Answers in the comments. I'm guessing, personally, not very long at all. I'm now going to wipe over the outside of the toilet brush. I still got to use the actual toilet brush itself to clean the toilet, but I just thought I'll wipe over the outside of it. Now, clean cloth again. I do go through a lot of these cloths. I've got a lot of these microfiber cloths and they all go in a little basket and then they get washed to do the windowsill and the top, like the shelf on the toilet. So I'll clean the toilet last and then wash my hands, but I have done the shelf. And now wiping all around the bath. I do wipe around the bath after the children get out anyway, and I sometimes use the daily shower spray on it. So the bath isn't too bad, to be honest. So just, I wipe over generally just with a towel, just to sort of get rid of any bubbles and gunk and things, but I don't necessarily give it a clean every time they have a bath. Answer me in the comments, how often do you clean your bath? Do you just wipe it over when it's used? Do you do it sort of as part of your bathroom clean? Or what do you do? So now, cleaning the toilet, and then obviously this cloth will go directly into the wash as well. I've flushed away the bleach that we popped in earlier, and then just a little go around with the toilet brush, and now it's time to wash my hands. And now, clean hands. Time to do the floor with my Veleda 1-2 spray. What you can't see in here is I'm pulling a little trigger and it's going shh and spraying some Method Wild Rhubarb Anti-Bac floor cleaner onto the tiles. So it smells divine and it's just so easy to do. It's so much easier than mopping. And now for fresh towels. The bathroom looks so much cleaner and tidier with a nice fresh towel until someone uses it. And then that's the one that kind of just goes on the floor. And I'm putting my cleaning products away. And there are my dirty things. Let's take them downstairs to the laundry. So this is the load that we put on earlier. That has been washing while I've been cleaning. And I'm separating into one basket of tumble dryable. Is that a word? Tumble dryable? Anyway, tumble dryable and non-tumble dryable stuff. So then the stuff that's going into the wash now is kind of stuff to be disinfected that is absorbent. So this load I will not use fabric softener on. I'm trying not to overload the washing machine. A few people ask me about this, how come I don't fill it really full? It's to do with weight, and if you put lots of towels in, by the way, that's a capsule of Zoflora to disinfect and no fabric softener in there. Anyway, if you overload the washing machine with too many towels, then the weight is too much and your washing machine will end up either breaking or sending an error code. Anyway, taking the stuff out of the tumble dryer, I've got this little stacker thing. As you can see, it's got a shelf on it, which is kind of cool. I will link that below. And a fluff bin. I've never had a dryer fluff bin before. I've got a fluff bin now, which makes me super happy. So now the tumble dryable, still not sure if that's a word, stuff has gone in the tumble dryer, and I'm sorting out the wet stuff. So this is the other basket of stuff, and this gets hung up. This is kind of my airing cupboard area. I hang up dry clothes here. Or clothes to dry, shall I say. The clothes that need to dry, they get hung up and kind of dry in shape. And there is a little radiator there to sort of keep them warm. I don't keep many things there at all. As soon as they're dry, they go straight upstairs. And I don't know if you can see from here, hangers between the things to keep them apart so that they dry properly. Now, all of this stuff is the stuff that has come out of the dryer. Other than that, that was a bit damp still, so that's gone back in the dryer. That was one of Zara's night nappies. So all of these bits that come out of the dryer are going into the relevant person's boxes. So you can see the boxes I'm sorting things into. There are 6 boxes, 1 for each family member, and then towels are going into a basket on the floor ready to go straight upstairs. But each family member has a box, and then when it is getting a bit full, I give it to that family member and I say, hey, put your stuff away please. And the little ones need a bit of help, but honestly, it has been such a godsend since I've done this method. I used to gather all the stuff originally in my old house before I had a laundry room kind of organised and had this system. I used to gather all the stuff and we'd have a laundry party once a week and we'd sort everything into who it belongs to, and we'd end up with just baskets and baskets of clean washing everywhere. This way it gets put away into the relevant person's box and then they put away their own things. So it's training the children and my husband to put away their own things, and it's sorted as we go, so it's not too bad. These are my hair towels, they're like Toby towels, I think they're called. And that's my fold away ironing board, which I was just using as a table, which has been folded away. I will link that below if you fancy grabbing one for yourself.
Guys, we're going to do power hour before shower. Let's get on with it. Let's start with Zara's room. Bella, iPad away please. Bella, good girl, iPad away. We're going to start with Zara's room, then it's your room. Okay, come on then.
We started in Zara's room because it was really stressing me out. I would always recommend, especially when you've got small children, starting in the place in your home that stresses you out the most, and that way, even if your children stop you from doing whatever you're doing with some sort of natural disaster, you have done the worst of the mess first and you've got at least one area totally clear. Then we moved on to Bella's room. I had to totally empty out her tent where she's been stashing loads and loads of rubbish in order to sort it, and we tipped it all over the floor and had to put everything away properly. She had bits of dirty washing in there. It was a right mess. She is not a naturally tidy 4-year-old. So we made the bed. I get all the children to pile in, as you can see, because as you know, if you've been following me for a while, I'm a big believer in getting the children to muck in as much as possible, teaching them that this stuff is not done by fairies, that mummy has to do it and they need to do it too, and hopefully they will grow up to kind of be respectful of their surroundings and not a total nightmare for whichever flatmates, husbands, wives, girlfriends, or whoever they end up living with. I straightened out all the books on the shelf because they were a right mess, and I always feel like if the books look tidy, the room looks a lot tidier, so made sure I did that. And then just generally, as I said, this is a power hour speed clean. This was not a deep clean by any stretch. This wasn't a massive sort out. It was just a get things done. One thing you can see we're doing here is putting the bedding directly back onto the duvet as soon as it comes out of the wash. Basically, each of the children have got one duvet on their bed and one spare, and as soon as the spare duvet cover is clean and out of the wash, it gets put directly back onto the duvet and stored in their rooms, so if they are ill or anything in the night, we can swap it over easily. Next job for me was to pull out the rest of the clean, dry washing that was hanging up in the airing cupboard and sort it all into the various rooms. So all of my stuff, as I've said before, I like to hang up in rainbow order because then I can find it all. So I put all my stuff away in my room, and then a lot of that had just been sitting there in the airing cupboard for ages. It was absolutely wedged full. So this was a reasonably big job to do, but it had just been building up and building up. So this was a good power hour thing to do. Then I sorted the rest of the children's clothes. You can see I sort them onto the door, ready to hang up in the various children's rooms. As soon as I've finished with my stuff, then I can kind of put those away in the other relevant rooms. Once the bed was clear and everything was sorted into who it belonged to, I took it to hang up. Zara's clothes, she's got a small wardrobe, so it's just the clothes that she wears during the week that don't match Bella's dresses that get hung in her room. So it's basically Bella's old clothes that Zara wears while Bella is in school, and then her matching dresses all get hung up with Bella's dresses in Bella's room because she's got a much bigger wardrobe, which really needs a declutter as well. Then I hung the stuff back up in William's room. We're not even dealing with William's room during this power hour because we just don't have time. Ran a load of stuff downstairs that belonged downstairs, and then I could finish up tidying up around my room, straightening up my bed, putting away my husband's stuff and getting it ready for a little clean. Then we went downstairs to tackle the hideous playroom, which did look like it had been burgled. It was absolutely appalling. I know the children find it really overwhelming when the playroom is this messy and they're like, oh mummy, I just can't, I don't know where to begin. But still, it's like, right, come on, let's do it together. You've made the mess and mummy's not going to just do it for you. We can all do it together. The playroom does need a big declutter because everything did used to have its home and different boxes had different sets of toys in it, and now it's all a bit mishmashed. But like I said, this is a power hour, not a deep clean or a declutter. So we just kind of put things back where they needed to be and where they had space for them. I will do a separate playroom declutter. I'll do a video when I do that actually because it really needs doing. Then I moved on to the hall. By the front door we have these Calyx boxes. We've got a lot of Calyx, you will have noticed that. And by the front door are school bags and then other bits that go in and out of the house and the car, like little bags of toys or hats, things like that. So they all just needed sorting. So I pulled those out, tidied things back away to make space for them. Again, these drawers by the front door could do with declutter, but that's a job for another day. I grabbed a basket full of bits and pieces that need to go upstairs, took those upstairs, and then I grabbed my Dyson so I could do some vacuuming. I vacuumed the playroom and the hall. I did the stairs and the landing before straightening out the cushions on my flowery seat where I keep all the cloth nappies, and then I just did the rooms that we had tidied. So I vacuumed Bella's room, which just had a quick once over, and then a quick once over in Zara's room and my room. Oh, hang on, I've got to show you this. Soft toys inside a bean bag. Great place to store them, keeps them out of the way, and a good use of the bean bag as well. It's not as comfy as beans, but it's not bad. So yeah, that's last power hour speed clean really. So within the hour I managed to get my room done, including all that clothing, which was a pretty huge job. So that's looking a lot tidier now. Didn't do any dusting or anything because I didn't have time, but power hour, it's just doing what you can, isn't it? Bella's room is looking a million times better because you couldn't actually see the floor before. It was hideous. Yeah, so that is now actually looking presentable. Zara's room was also a total tip. It's looking a lot better, thank goodness. And then, what else did we do? We did the hall. So yeah, that's clear now. We did have bits dumped all over the floor in there, and then the hall downstairs. I always feel like if the entrance hall is clean and clear, then our whole house feels tidy. I'm starting at the top of the house today, which is my son's bedroom and my office. I'm starting by opening the windows for a bit of airflow and ventilation, and then stripping his bed. I feel like the top of the house often gets neglected, so that's why I'm starting here today. Before I put clean sheets on his bed, I'm reaching for my cleaning supplies. I've got cleaning cloths, these reusable duster head things that I bought from B&M, which I'm going to use to dust all the kind of surfaces around his bed before we put the clean sheets on and flick dust all over them basically. So that's all having a little wipe over. This really hasn't been done in ages. I was in desperate need of doing. I'm getting William to help me strip the bed. I am a big fan of getting children to help out with chores around the house so they realise there's no fairies that do it, it needs doing. And the younger you get them helping, the less resistance you're going to face. So I gave Will the job of pulling the duvet out and repoppering the duvet cover. I always make sure that the duvet covers go into the wash with the poppers done back up. You're just far less likely to lose, you know, socks and pants and other bits and pieces inside the duvet cover in the washing machine if you do it that way. So I am popping this clean duvet cover onto his duvet and making the bed. Then he's got the job of kind of, once the bed is made, putting all the toys away while I start some sort of cleaning. So I'm giving his iPad a bit of wipe first because the screen was absolutely stinking, covered in fingerprints and smudges, and then dusting all around this. Like I said, this room, it does get neglected a bit. Being out of the way, he keeps it reasonably tidy, but it just really needed really good dust. This is Flora in a spray bottle diluted with water. I'm just giving some of the surfaces a little wipe over with that just to kind of disinfect them. This fluffy duster, like I said, I used to use the throwaway head, the disposable head dusters. Mrs. Hinch calls them Dave, doesn't she? But I bought this as a kind of alternative to those. When I can, I do prefer to use reusable cleaning products, better for the environment, and I don't like running out of them. This is the Star Drops White Vinegar Spray, also recommended by Mrs. Hinch. Managed to pick some of that in my B&M haul. Now, it's really good, but it doesn't smell great because it smells like vinegar. I don't know why I didn't think that before I started using it. It does actually just smell like vinegar, but it does the trick on glass and stuff. So I'm just giving the other surfaces a spray, and then I'm marrying up the cloths to put back in my little caddy thing to take from room to room. I'm putting them over the bottle that I used them for, so I know which cloth to use in the next room because it's already very contaminated with that chemical. So now I am vacuuming all around Will's room. I have got a handheld cordless Dyson, but I tend to use this sort of heavy duty one that plugs in if I'm doing large areas to avoid having to run out the battery. And so just if I'm doing large amounts of cleaning around the house, I kind of still reach for this sometimes because it doesn't run out basically. And that's Will's room pretty much done. It's looking a lot cleaner. It wasn't that untidy to start with, but at least it's not super dusty now, which is a huge improvement. Moving on to our attic landing area, once again opening the window for ventilation and then giving a little spray over this unit. This is kind of an IKEA set of calyx that we made into like a seat, and all of the tops of them just really need dusting. This hadn't been done in such a long time. Honestly, I'm quite embarrassed by that, how bad the dust was up here. So I'm just giving it a little wipe over, because it was so very needed. And also whipping out my fluffy duster head thingy again. Don't know the name of it. If you know the name of it, please pop it in the comments because I'd love to know. Then I just gave a little hoover over the carpet area. Again, it wasn't an especially messy area, it just had been neglected when it came to cleaning. So really needed this, really needed this clean. So then I emptied all the rubbish from the 2 rooms and took it downstairs. Now moving on to my office, which again wasn't like really untidy, but hadn't been actually kind of dusted and cleaned in far too long. So I started by opening the window again. I always like to do that when we're cleaning, using any products, and just also you get a bit hot and bothered. So I moved the tent out. The girls have a tent to play with while I'm working in the office, and then started cleaning the surfaces, whipped out the vinegar spray for the mirrored surfaces, and then used a combination of Pledge and Zoflora spray depending on the surface, just wiping those over with my fluffy duster, things like the keypad, which is good for getting all the little crevices, and then my microfiber cloths, which I have loads and loads of, because if you clean with them for a bit, they get a bit kind of full of product, and I like to pop one in the wash, and just so I go through quite a few when I do a big clean like this. I bought them in a big pack from Amazon, which I shall link below. So then just clean this other calyx surface. Yes, I got a lot of calyx, not just in my office, not just upstairs, but all over the house. You can see that if you look at my house tour, which I shall pop in the cards now. Now I am vacuuming all around my office space. So we're nearly done with this room. So this is not just a top-down clean because we're starting at the top of the house, but it's always beneficial to start at the higher surfaces and work down to the floor, so you knock any dust and whatever down and then clean it. Ignore that little corner that I'm fussing with now. That's kind of where I get brands send me things and whatever, and they just end up in my little junk corner of my office. So that's my office, not looking terribly different, but it's cleaner. It was not clean before. You could not see the dirt, but trust me, it was there. I then had finished the top floor, so took all the vacuum cleaner and the cleaning products and stuff downstairs, and that's Will's room done. That is the attic landing done, and my office done. So time to then move downstairs. I was running out of time, so the stairs were the next priority. Can you see all the dust being flecked off there? Quite disgusting. So I used my sort of fluffy duster thing on the stairs, and then I sprayed and wiped them all, and that had not been done such a long time. Now I knew I wasn't going to have time to do like the whole rest of the house, so the priorities were my bathroom. I started by putting a big dollop of a few capfuls of Zoflora down the toilet and the toilet brush in the toilet to disinfect it, while I was emptying out the bathroom ready to clean it. I like to empty everything out, strip all the towels out, all the mats and things away, to really clean the bathroom. I've got a bit of Zoflora to wipe the radiator over and the windowsill. I sprayed it onto the cloth for the radiator because I don't want to get it all over the paintwork and then directly onto the windowsill. Then time to do the sink, and then I have got rubber gloves on for the bathroom. I don't tend to use rubber gloves for anywhere else, but things like flash and stuff I don't really like on my hands. I do like this flash bathroom. I like the way it smells. And I'm using a Scrub Daddy, which is a bit like a minky alternative. I quite like this. I love the colour, obviously. You know I love pink. It's very similar to the minkies, but not more readily available. So I'm just using that to clean all over the sink. I think these are really great for cleaning, you know, sinks and kitchens and things. But I do like to go back over once I've finished and kind of dry them with a clean, dry microfiber cloth, because otherwise, I don't know, it doesn't look finished to me until it's kind of been dried with one of those cloths. Then it's time to do my shower. So first I sprayed all over with flash and gave it a good old wipe over with my Scrub Daddy minky alternative type pad cloth thing. Again, not really sure what they're called. Let me know in the comments, let me know, people. And then showered that down. So I kind of scrubbed it over first, then showered the worst of it off. Then back to my Star Drops white vinegar. Again, not loving the smell on this, but it does the job. So I took the Star Drops and another clean microfiber cloth to wipe it in, then another drier one to kind of buff it. So there were large expanse on this shower screen. So this took me a bit of time to do. But again, it needed doing. I haven't done this in an embarrassingly long time. So yeah, it was looking neglected. This is the thing about kind of like power hour cleaning. You need to do what needs doing. Oh, this is the bit where my new toilet brush from B&M disintegrated in my hands. I wasn't very impressed. It just literally fell to bits. And then when I just couldn't fix it, I had to bin it and go and fetch the toilet brush from the other room. So I fetched the one from the other room, put it back in the toilet with the Flora while I cleaned the rest of the toilet with the flash and the microfiber cloths. Once I'd finished the toilet, I reached for my Vi-Leader 1-2 spray, which has got Soap Flora diluted in it, to clean the floor, and then I could put everything back in. I gave things like the bathroom scales a little wipe over with more Soap Flora so that they were clean because they were a bit dusty and yucky, and then that was that bathroom pretty much done. I then knew I was running out of time massively before I had to do other things for the children, so I started on this bathroom. I knew I had to do the sink and the bath, so I started on the bath because it was the most gross part of the bathroom. Children, I don't know what they've been doing in it, but it was icky. So I gave that a good old scrub with flash and the scrub daddy pad, and then moved on to the sink, which was also quite gross. I knew this was probably going to be the last thing I was going to fit in doing, so I gave it a quick scrub over, and it's always best, you've just got to think of what you have managed to achieve in your power hours and just leave cleans rather than what you've got left to do. And if you've gone full force and managed as much as you can, then you've done well, and it's better to do something than nothing. It is always important when doing your power hour to list out what needs to be done first and work down your list in priority order. So for me, I've got to sort washing, which falls under my room category, and change the sheets, clear the landing, do the girls' bedrooms because they really are messy and just really quite disgusting. Then priority after that is clearing the hall downstairs. I always feel if that entrance hall's clear, then the house looks great. The playroom really needs doing, but if I run out of time for that, I can close the door on it. The kitchen and the laundry room need sorting as well, but again, that might have to be a job tomorrow if I run out of time. So to start with, I'm sorting out the clean, dry washing. We've got a hanging rail like a wardrobe in our airing cupboard, which is in our ensuite of our bedroom. And at the moment it's wedged full. So the idea is, as the clothes get hung up in there to dry, which is great because they kind of hang up in shape, but then the airing cupboard needs to be emptied quite frequently, so there's space for the clothes to dry. This hasn't been done for a while, as you can see there's a bit of a backlog, so I'm pulling all of the clean dry clothes out. And oh, top tip for you here, I have got a few vest tops. I'm obsessed with these vest tops which I wear under things, especially when I was breastfeeding. If I've got two of the same colour, I hang them on one hanger because it saves space in my wardrobe. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Basically, it's good to dry things on hangers, I think, because they kind of hang and dry in shape, so they need less or even no ironing sometimes, and it's not also it's wearing on the clothes as tumble drying and drying outside. In the UK, it's not the most reliable. We don't have the UK weather, so I find this a really sort of handy method of drying the clothes, hang up nicely, and also they're just ready to be hung up in the wardrobes then, aren't they? So I'm sorting things out into order of who they belong to. All my stuff, in fact everybody's stuff, gets hung up in rainbow order so I can find things, and then I'm kind of hanging the stuff on the door is for the girls' bedrooms, the stuff on that wardrobe door is for my husband, and I just kind of hang it up as to where it needs to go, and then I can grab a bundle of hangers, a bundle of clothing ready to go into each room. All the spare hangers go back into the airing cupboard, ready for the next clothing that needs drying, and then all the stuff just being put in each room, ready to go in each wardrobe. So that's my husband's stuff going into his wardrobe, his folded stuff going away into his drawers, all his work gear and things like that. And then once all his stuff's away, I've got shoes I actually went out about a week ago, and those shoes have been sitting there. Now they belong in the bottom of this wardrobe in Zara's room. This wardrobe is shameful and needs a declutter, but this is a power hour and I do not have time to declutter that wardrobe. I will do that another day. So Zara's stuff is going into her wardrobe. The stuff that she wears when Bella's in school goes in her wardrobe because she's only got a small wardrobe, and the stuff that they've got matching dresses gets hung in Bella's wardrobe because that's larger. I'm just picking up all towels and things that are clean but had just been dumped on the floor in my bedroom and then being put away in my airing cupboard. I love these baskets for sorting towels and things into because before I did this, if you look, I think it's in my house tour, the airing cupboard was a bit of a disaster. Just all the towels were never folded nicely, they were just in a big heap. Anyway, onto a bit of dusting. This is my little reusable duster thing from B&M, which I love. The head comes off, I've got a couple of them, and then I just bung it in the washing machine. And it's great because you don't really need any product with it, and it picks up really, really well. It's super easy, and it's a pretty colour, so I like using it. So I'm just dusting all the surfaces in my bedroom. I like to do this before I change the sheets when I remember, because that way I feel like the dust goes on the dirty sheets and then I change them as well. Oh, Zara likes to help. You know, I'm a big fan of getting children to help when I can, and Zara, because I got her to helping the youngest, is actually the most helpful of the four. She's only 2 and she always wants to help because she doesn't know any different. The eldest is less likely to want to help because he didn't have to do any helping until he was 7.5 when I had William. Anyway, I am changing my sheets. Always remember, people, pop or button up your sheets before you put them in the machine so that they don't end up full of bits of other socks and things. Oh, here I am just showing you that I store all my sheets within a pillowcase. It's really good for you guys to do the same because when you store things, the whole bedding set within a pillowcase, it's easy to find all the bits that you need. You don't need to go hunting around for where's the pillowcase, where's the sheet. It's all there for you. So just putting all the clean sheets on my bed. I love having clean sheets on my bed, but I hate changing the bed because it's huge. It's like a super king or queen size bed, whatever it's called. It's a huge bed, so it's just like a workout changing it for myself really because it's huge, and it gets me all sweaty doing it because it's hard work, quite frankly. I've said this before, I think. I don't iron bedding. Big confession there, I don't do that because I don't have time in my life for that. As long as the sheets are nice and clean and they've been smoothed out nicely, it looks reasonably tidy, I can live without it being ironed. Don't judge me. Anyway, now time to put some other bits away and then vacuum the floor, and then that's my room, not far off done. I do like the little Dyson, especially for power hour, because it's much easier. There you go, that's my room done. It's like nice and clean, all the washing that needs to go away is away. Now on to Zaza's room. Zara's room is, as usual, a mess because she loves making a huge mess. But she is helping me. I am making her help me put her toys away. She doesn't do a brilliant job of it. It is probably easier to just do it myself. But if I get them to help at a young age, they don't object to helping, and they know that this stuff doesn't get done by fairies. I think it's good for them. So let me know in the comments. Do you get your children to help when you're cleaning and tidying? And are they actually helpful, or is it more work than anything? As you can see, Zara really loves my fake duster thing. Anyway, that's her room done. It's a super, super quick clean and tidy in there, and she felt like she had, so that's great. So I'm taking the dirty washing downstairs, pulling up some other bits that have been dumped downstairs, ready to go away. You can see if you look into Bella's room, I've got the 2 boys helping Bella put some of her clothes away that I popped in there for her. The girls are quite little. I do make them help, but they need help with the helping, if you're following. So just a quick dust over on the landing, and then vacuum the carpet. As you can see, I put away the stuff that had been dumped on the banister, and then that's the landing done. Bella's room now. Bella's room is usually a terrible tip. It's often much worse than this, but as I said, I had the bigger ones all kind of contributing to helping her tidy it up. Then it's time to put the clothes I've dumped on her door away. Now, soft toys. Top tip, people, soft toys, store them in a beanbag bag. Ditch the beans, you don't need the beans in the beanbag bag. And fill it with soft toys instead because it's brilliant for storage, also good for storing blankets, anything like that, anything soft. because it's not quite as comfortable as beams, but you know, it's pretty good. And where else are you supposed to store all that stuff? It's just really great for hiding the clutter, the stuff they don't want to part with, but where else are you supposed to put it? Then a quick vacuum over of Bella's room, with the girls being not terribly helpful, but you know, notional helping. And that's Bella's room sorted. Now onto the hall downstairs. A load of these towels have been used as like blankets to sit on outside, so they just needed folding up and putting away. And then I could give the place a little bit of a dust and a vacuum. I always feel if the entrance hall is looking clean and tidy, it at least gives the illusion the whole house is clean and tidy. First impressions and all that. So spending a few minutes on the entrance hall, I always feel is time well spent. Then it's time to do some laundry. It's always remember to empty the fluff out of your dryer so it's not a fire hazard. You can see here I'm sorting the clean, dry washing out of the dryer into our cowlick sorting unit. There's one box per person in the family. All the stuff gets plopped into there. When the box is full, it gets given to whoever it is and they have to put their own things away. Always get your family to do their own putting away of laundry when you can. Right, these are little wet bags. Top tip, they are amazing for when you've got children to bring home sort of not just cloth nappies and things, but just anything yucky, bibs, anything sick on it, anything dirty at all. They're brilliant. Anyway, now it's time to empty the washing machine and fill the dryer. Just get the laundry on, get it moving, and then refill the washing machine with my sheets that I just changed off bed with a little scoop of the Unstoppables. These things really do make your laundry smell amazing. And then I just use a scoop of Very Non-Bio and then a little bit of Lenore fabric softener, and then that is the washing machine on. I did not get to the playroom, but it was just a power hour. So I'm starting by emptying the bathroom of all of the stuff that is messing it up. Namely towels and things that are dirty and need washing. That's the potties and things. We're about to start potty training. All of that stuff needs to go out. The cloth nappy bucket, the bin, everything is just being emptied out. The bath toys. It's amazing how much clutter can sort of accumulate in the bathroom, as well as all the toothbrushes and things. I just like to get them all out so nothing gets covered with chemicals. So I'm starting by popping on some rubber gloves. I don't always remember to do this, but I do try to. And then sticking a capful of Zoflora down the toilet, and I'm going to plonk the toilet brush in there to kind of marinate in there while I'm going to tackle this disgusting sink. So I've got my little caddy full of goodies. I'm starting with this Star Drops vinegar spray, which is great for glass. I'm not in love with the smell, if I'm honest, because it smells like vinegar, which isn't amazing, but it is a good cleaner. It buffs up the glass nicely and makes it really shiny and lovely. So I'm using a microfiber cloth just to wipe all over that, keep changing so I dry a bit, and then I've got this little glass shelf which I'm wiping over too, just a little bit of kind of toothpaste on there, so that's going. Next we're into the sink. We've got a bit of flash bathroom, going to town on that with the old flash bathroom, and then grabbing a minky cloth and just wiping all over it and getting all the grime and yuckiness off all around the tap. This tap is actually really annoying. It's kind of got a groove thing under it, which you've got to twist it and turn it on and off just to get under the groove of the sort of bit where the tap turns on and off. So it's a bit of a pain to clean. So if you're choosing a bathroom, don't choose a tap like that because it's a pain to clean. Anyway, just then rinsing off all the flash bathroom, keep squeezing out minky and wiping all around. And then when that's pretty much done, I do like to grab a microfiber cloth, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to do any moment now. Nope, still going to town with Minky, okay. After I've done that, I like to grab a microfiber cloth and just kind of dry it all off and make sure it's all shiny and clean, and that's the sink area done. Onto the bath, and we're pretty much repeating. It's like a very big sink, isn't it? Just spraying all over. Again, if you're buying a bath, it seems like a terribly good idea to have, you can see there's like jets, it's like a jacuzzi bath, but in reality, I have time to have a bath because I've got 4 children, I shower every day, so, and the children don't like the jets because they're loud, because it's a pump. So really, perhaps the most sensible thing to do would be not to bother with a jacuzzi bath, because it's just, you know, the funny bits to clean. Anyway, Cleaning all around the bath with the flash bathroom and the minky cloth, and just giving it a good old scrub, all the any marks that the children have randomly left on the bath from goodness knows what, wiping out the jets, and scrubbing in all the flash bathroom, making it all hygienically clean before I grab the shower. That's what I tend to do next, to give it a good old rinse down. If you've got a shower attachment, I do like to, just because it's such a big area, it's easier rather than to wipe it all down thoroughly, to just shower the rest of the flash bathroom off, and then drain all that water away and give it a last wipe over if there are any like marks or anything that I've missed or just haven't come off properly that the children have left. I don't know how they managed to mark up the bath, but they do. Just giving it a good old scrub to make sure all of that is off. And then we're taking the blue microfiber cloth, like we did with the sink, and just wiping it over to make sure there's no product left on the bath, because let's face it, we don't want the children bathing in the flash bathroom. Next, onto the shower, giving it a good old scrub over. I do mean spray over with flash bathroom, and then a wipe over with Minky again, over all the tiles and the doors and things, just making sure that I've tried to cover as much area as possible. The shower hose, grime does collect on shower hoses, so make sure you clean yours as you're doing the shower, and then I just like to rinse it all off like I did with the bath to get all the product off. I do find that showering off the rest of the product really is the only way to really make sure it's all gone when you're dealing with kind of really large surface areas like showers and baths. So if you have got one, it's a good idea to do it. Then of course you've got to clean the shower head separately, because you can't shower the shower head. So yeah, make sure you give that a good old clean, because Gert can also, we don't have limescale in this area, but I'm sure limescale would collect all around the shower head as well if you're in a limescale-y area. So next job is to tackle the glass on the shower with a bit more of the Star Drops white wine vinegar. Again, I don't love the smell, but I do like the finish. So spraying all over. You really should have the bathroom window open and ventilated when you are cleaning the bathroom. You've got loads of chemicals anyway, so the flash bathroom, the vinegar smell shouldn't bother you that much, but let's face it, it's stinky. I don't know, you let me know in the comments. Do you like the smell of the white wine vinegar stuff? Anyway, on to the windowsill, which I'm using Zoflora, which I do like the smell of. A little capful of Zoflora diluted. Look how manky that is. Yuck, yuck, yuck. And then I'm just spraying the top of the toilet and sort of disinfecting that, because, you know, yucky fingers flushing the toilet. Ugh. Next, we're on to the putting the candles back on the windowsill before moving on to the rest of the toilet itself, which I'm cleaning back with my flash bathroom. I've used this same blue cloth. I've started with the least dirty places in the bathroom and worked my way around to the dirtiest, which is obviously the toilet, and working my way from the least dirty parts of the toilet to the dirtiest parts of the toilet. And then once this cloth has cleaned the toilet, it will go in the wash, and then doing the sort of down the loo bit with the brush that's been soaking in the Zoflora, which is all nice and disinfected, and then give that a good old flush and a final wipe around, and that is the loo pretty much done, other than one last scoop of Zoflora, which goes into the toilet brush to leave it sort of smelling nice for next time. And then I've got a fresh blue cloth to go over the top of the toilet and the toilet seat with Zoflora. Then those cloths just go straight in to be washed. What you didn't see me do just then, because I had to wash my hands, was washing my hands with the rubber gloves on. I can't remember to wash your rubber gloves because they've been touching the loo, that's gross. So we've washed those, and I kind of sprayed them with Zoflora and washed them before I went on to do the floor with my Vileda 1-2 spray, which, look at that grime it's picked up the floor. Ugh, disgusting. In the Vileda 1-2 spray, by the way, I used Zoflora. Now I'm putting everything back in the bathroom, including my nappy bucket, the steps, the potties ready for potty training, and toilet seats. I obviously took away all the dirty towels, so I only put then clean towels back after I have cleaned the bathroom, and putting all the toothbrushes and things back, and just making sure there's no clutter as such putting all the shampoos back, throwing out ones that are sort of empty, and just putting back actual shampoo boxes with actual shampoo in them, and the bath toys and things that belong in the bathroom, just putting it all back together really before moving on to the next one, which is my ensuite. Starting by stripping out all the stuff. Oh look, this is something that Bella made in school for Father's Day, how cute is that? Anyway, stripping out the towels, stripping out all the junk, the scales, all the stuff. I do like to just strip it right back before I start cleaning the bathrooms. So stripping out the toothbrushes and soaps and things. So we're going to start with the mirror with a bit of the star drops, and giving that a bit of a wipe over, just like we did in the other bathroom. It's the same mirror and shelf really, so we're just repeating the process. Using a microfiber cloth, and then onto Minky for the sinky, I guess, and some flash bathroom again. It's very similar to the main bathroom, the children's bathroom. It's got exactly the same taps again, and just giving them a good old scrub over with a Minky. And tell me in the comments below, is this how you like to clean your sink? Do you like to use Minky and Flash bathroom? If not, what do you like to use to clean your bathroom sink? I would love to know. Please do let me know in the comments. So now I've got another blue microfiber cloth. You will notice I have a lot of these. I bought a massive pack of them. You need so many when you're cleaning, because you know they get, even if they don't get, like, you don't use them for the loo, you use them for other less dirty jobs, they just get soaking. And then they're no good for cleaning anything else. You need lots of fresh ones, a big pack of them, in order to clean, you know, lots of things in a row. Next job, I'm doing my shower, which is a much bigger shower than the children's shower, much sort of bigger surface area, using Flash bathroom again, and then rinsing it off, rinsing and then scrubbing with Minky, rinsing, then scrubbing with Minky. Sometimes I do like to do my shower just before I have a shower, just so I don't go and get my clothes all icky. But today, obviously, I'm doing it in the middle of my Power Hour Speed Clean. So yeah, just sometimes it's good to kind of leave products in the shower when you're about to have a shower, and it's just a good opportunity to get it done then, just as a sort of a quick clean. Anyway, I've got lots of little shelves and things in the shower, making sure they've all had a wipe over with Minky and then a wipe over with the blue microfiber to kind of clean it off. And now I'm putting back all the shampoos and the shower gels and things, and leaving that done. I don't always have time to do the glass with the star drop stuff, which obviously I didn't on this occasion because I'm running out of time. So we're going back over the, I used on the windowsill, I used the Zoflora, same as in the other bathroom, and then back onto Flash bathroom for the loo. Look, here we go with yet another blue microfiber cloth. I told you I've got so many of these things, and really, you can't have enough of them, because you do really go through so many of them as you are cleaning multiple rooms in one hit. So that's the toilet done. I just need to now get rid of all the cleaning products, do the floor over with my Bralida 123, which it does smell amazing after this because it's got a cap full of Zoflora, diluted Zoflora in that. So it disinfects the floor and then leaves the bathroom smelling just gorgeous. Which is always really, really nice. I also find it's much easier to use than like a full-on mopping bucket. Right now, the scales, that's something I also find gets really, really dusty, so just giving that a little wipe over with some Zoflora. Now we're on to the downstairs loo, where I'm getting my Zoflora and sticking it down the loo. What a surprise, because, you know, we're just doing the same thing over and over. So I've popped the toilet brush in the loo while I'm emptying everything else out. Now in our downstairs loo we've got loads and loads of shoes as well, so I've just moved those out of the way so they don't get product on them, the ones that are kind of on the floor and hidden around the loo. And then I have done the shelf where the children leave their toothbrushes, because often they clean their teeth downstairs in the morning after they've had breakfast. Then the star drop stuff is back out, vinegar stinking stuff, to do the mirror, and then onto the sink. Guess what we're using? Oh look, Flash bathroom and Minky again. See? It's getting quite predictable now, isn't it? But this is the last bathroom. We are coming to the end of the power hour. I wasn't sure I'd get to this one, but I'm quite pleased that I'm managing it. So just giving all the tiles and the taps and the sink a good old scrub, filming it right up, and rinsing it off. And then I have to just keep using more water and rinsing it. I probably go a bit overboard, to be honest, with the amount of flash bathroom I use. But I just sort of always a bit enthusiastic when I'm spraying it. And then every time I rinse it off, I'm thinking, why did I use so much? Why? But never mind. Anyway, so I'm getting that all off, or the worst of the product off with Minky, which if you haven't had one of these, they're fab. There's a few different brands of them, and they're all quite similar, to be honest. And then back with yet another, see, I told you about loads, blue microfiber cloth for wiping down the sink. So that's the sink done. Next, I'm just kind of tidying up the shoes and dusting under them, so the shelves get a bit icky. There's bits of mud and sorts falling off the shoes. So I'm just giving that a little kind of dust over with my reusable, it's like a fluffy duster thing from B&M, and the head comes off it and goes in the washing machine. It's fab. Zara, my youngest, especially loves dusting things like the carpet and things like that with it, just because it's quite pretty. And then I'm grabbing my Dyson handheld, which quite often, I know this has got like a thing you can use when you're standing up. It's easier just to get in hands of these and just do the corners sometimes with it. Anyway, onto the toilet with a little bit of flash bathroom. We're nearly there, you know, we're nearly at the end of this power hour. Getting quite excited that we're nearly done, and I've actually, looks like I'm going to achieve it all the stuff I actually set out to do, which is quite exciting and quite rare. My children allowed me to do everything I wanted to do. So that is the downstairs loo pretty much done once I've put all of the shoes back in there, and then just given the sort of skirtings and things a little Dyson around to tidy them up. And then once all the bits are gone with the Dyson, I can get my Rolly 1, 2, 3 out. Make the floor, you know, disinfected and smelling amazing. Which is good, isn't it? That's what we want. We want our bathrooms to smell amazing. And that's it. Finished. Ta-da! So the main priority for today has got to be the entrance hall, where everything has been dumped, and I really feel if the hall's a mess, the whole house feels like it's a mess. Then it's got to be laundry, because there's so much to catch up on, which then spills into our bedroom, because that's where laundry ends up getting dumped, ready to get sorted. And then if I have time, I would like to tackle the girls' bedrooms, but if that doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world. So I like to use these curver baskets to sort things into, and you'll see that as I'm sorting things around the house, I pop them into the basket so they can go to the relevant rooms. So this is a toiletry bag, it needs to go upstairs, so I'm popping it in a basket, and other things that need to go to that room can get added in there too. If you watched the vlog from when we were away, I'll link it up in the cards now. You can see when we were packing, I was packing to come home, I packed the clean things that we did not use into these packing cubes. So again, they're super easy to just put away. That is the cosmetic case full of chargers. That's a little bag full of medical syringes, just in case the children were ill when we were away. Basically, I don't like to put small items loose in the case. I like to sort of section them off into these little cosmetic bags. I think there's my hair straightener, so I just go upstairs. But if the small items, like all those are toothbrushes, they're all put together in a little pack. It's just one thing to grab out of the case to put away. It just makes unpacking and putting away so much easier when we get home. Those are clean, dry cloth wipes that didn't get used. They were in a bag, much easier than sorting them through. You'll just see I've slung Zara's shoes in through that door. That is our downstairs loo where we store all our shoes. I will need to tidy that later because that is a bit of a mess. Next, on to our dirty washing. If you watched my how I pack video, you'll know that I take these bags, they're like fold away bags, and then I unzip them and get there and fill them full of laundry. And I sorted these into a a light load and a dark load ready to wash, and that's the case fully unpacked. So although there's a lot of stuff in there, because it was sectioned off, it didn't take that long. that case belongs under the stairs. Oh, under the stairs is a tricky tip. I will have to wedge that back in there later. But yeah, all the stuff is now out of the case. My next job, which I do normally like to start the second we walk in through the door, but I was just too tired last night, is to get on some washing. So as you see, I'm packing away these little packet bags that I have the dirty laundry in them. So they were easily sorted. I'm just dumping the clean into one basket. What is wrong with me today? The lights into one basket and the darks into another basket, and then I can just add the other bits of laundry that I hadn't done before we went away and sort those into the different loads so I can get the washing machine going. It's always a good idea to do laundry first, because that way while you're doing other stuff the machine is washing, and then the sooner you get it washing, the sooner you can get it all moving and drying and on to the next stage. I like to use a colour catcher in most loads. I do need to look into getting reusable ones of these. Apparently they do have them. I like to use a scoop of Unstoppables, which just make the laundry smell amazing and lovely. And then I use Fairy Non-Bio. I use a scoop of that and a little drop of Lenore fabric softener. I tend to put our clothes on for a short wash. They don't need to be on super hot and super long unless they're really, really dirty. They're not especially dirty, they just need freshening up. Next job is to sort the clean, dry washing that's come out of the dryer into my laundry calyx system. Basically, each one of those black boxes belongs to a different family member. I put the clean washing into the relevant person's box, and then when it is full, it is given to that family member and they are asked to put their own laundry away. Now it's time to make a little bit of space in the laundry room, because it's like clutter-tastic, so that I can sort out the clean cloth wipes and get them all kind of damp and smelly in a good way, ready to use. So I use a little drop of this lavender essential oil, and I'm using these cheeky wipes boxes. I shall link all the information about this below. So yeah, it's lavender and water in the box, and then they're stored damp, ready to use, so then you can grab them and use them as if they were a disposable wipe, only they smell better and they are actually more efficient at cleaning up sticky hands, faces and poop. Oh look, I've just found de-icer. It's July and for some reason there's de-icer left out. So once I've cleaned all the surfaces, I'm just using my little Zoflora and a microfiber cloth to wipe all the surfaces in here, because it's only a small room, but if I can get this room clean and tidy, ta-da! Look how much better that is, and at least I feel like I've achieved something. Now it's time to clear the hall, and I am using these baskets, my Kerber baskets, which I love, to carry everything up and down the stairs. It's just so much quicker to load up baskets than carry loads of loose bits. Next job is to tackle this area by the front door. The children haven't even emptied their school bags or put their stuff away. I normally kind of encourage them to do this stuff themselves, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. And then the more stuff that is dumped there, the more stuff gets added to it, and the more likely other people are to dump things. Everyone is supposed to put away their own shoes neatly in the downstairs loo. It doesn't always happen, but I must admit the biggest culprit for that is my husband, not the children. So I've just pulled all the shoes off this shelf because they were such a mess, and putting them back neatly so that they actually all fit. And like I said, if it's a big dumping mess, everyone just dumps stuff, whereas if it's neat and tidy, they're more likely to put their shoes back tidily and keep it tidy. We do have an awful lot of shoes between the 6 of us, and these all just be left in the hall, which really stressed me out. So keeping them in the downstairs loo, even if it's not the tidiest of solutions, is a lot better than it was. So now just to clear this last area, just bits and pieces, Bella's ballet kit, that needs to go upstairs, drinks, suntan lotion, goodness knows what else has been dumped there, my little picnic basket that goes on my pram, which hasn't even been emptied of food since yesterday, that needs to go in the kitchen to be emptied. All needs to be moved so that we can clear the surfaces. I do feel like clear surfaces in the hall make me feel like the entrance hall is tidy, and therefore the whole house looks tidy. Now here is my understairs of shame. We don't have an attic space as such because we have rooms in the attic, so we don't have anywhere to hide stuff. So this is where I hide stuff. This under the stairs really needs sorting, but at the moment it's full of junk and I've hidden it with that screen. So now you know. So now I'm just dusting over with my little reusable duster head thing. They're like Dave the Duster, but you can put the top bit in the washing machine. And giving the rug a little bit of a vacuum with my cordless Dyson. Because yeah, once the entrance hall is tidy, it creates a lovely illusion of tidy for the whole house. Whether the whole house is or not tidy, then at least people coming to the house won't have a first impression of, oh, what a mess. So those are the last bits. That's Bella's ballet kit that needed to go upstairs. And I think that's the haul pretty much done. Yeah, that's the haul done and looking about 1 billion times better. Now that the haul is done, it's time to go and empty the washing machine, which has finished. Now I sort things into 2 types of clothes to be dried. So our kind of nicer clothes, basically anything that isn't uniform, school uniform, gets hung up to dry as opposed to going in the dryer, because I find that tumble drying clothes kind of makes them wear out and fade a lot quicker. And then things like pajamas, socks, underwear, that kind of thing gets put in the dryer as well as the school uniform. So before I sort out where I put it in the drying, I'm chucking another load on in the machine. Just if you get back from holiday or something, you've got a backlog, just keep the machine going, just keep it moving. The second it finishes, get it back on again, get the stuff through, get it clean, and then you stand a chance, because when you've got mounds and mounds of dirty washing that you just have got to get through, it's just really depressing. So get it clean and then you can get it sorted. While I'm waiting for the dryer to finish, I can put the rest of that drying in the dryer. I am bringing the wet wash that needs hanging up upstairs, because in our ensuite we've got this cupboard where I have got a hanging rail in there, and that's where I hang stuff up to dry. Now the problem is it's full of clean and dry stuff, so all the dry stuff has to come out in order to make space for the wet stuff, and this is where the backlog is a problem, as you can see. So my bras, I don't put those in the dryer because they get wrecked. As you see, all the kind of any of my tops or dresses, any of the children's tops or dresses, they just stay nicer and newer looking for longer if you don't put them in the dryer. And if you dry them this way, kind of hung up in shape, they don't need much or even any sometimes ironing, which is quite beneficial. So yeah, all of this stuff has to be sorted. I'm just sorting it into piles of who it belongs to, so that they can be put in the relevant person's wardrobe. Most of this stuff isn't going to need any ironing, and some of the bits that do need ironing I sort of keep separate or even just do as we go, because like I said, when it's dried this way, I find it just really efficient, and you know, it's dried in a nice warm airing cupboard and it barely has any creases. So I'm gathering together all the rest of the spare hangers to hang up the wet washing in a newly empty airing cupboard. So I make sure that everything is turned round the right way before I hang it up, and it's not in a funny shape, and all the sleeves are pulled through and stuff. That way it dries nicely and it's less creased. So drying stuff this way really does, it just saves so much time because it's already on the hanger, and then it's a kind of a grab and go when it is dry. You need to make sure if you're doing this that it's not overstuffed and over kind of crowded in there, which is why you have to empty all the other stuff out first. I quite often like to put some hangers in between each item to make sure they're spaced out, just to leave it a little bit of air to circulate so that it can dry properly. Otherwise it just ends up with a whole load of damp smelliness and it not drying properly at all. But yeah, if you don't overload it, this is a really efficient way. I don't actually have a washing line outside. I just find it rains so much in the UK that it would be a total waste of time. So drying things this way is a cheap and efficient way to do things for me, especially when I've got so many people to wash clothes for. So now I'm hanging up all of my clothes. Now if you watched the video where I decluttered and KonMari'd my wardrobe, you'll know I like to hang my clothes in rainbow order, because then I can find everything that I need, and it's easy to choose what I want to wear and what goes with what, just because it's all hung up in rainbow order, and rainbow order makes me happy, so that's why I do that. And then my shorts and jeans and things are folded into these drawers below. And then that is all my stuff pretty much done. and the end of my power hour. I am out of time. I am starting my power hour today, as I often do, with laundry. As a family of 6, we have a lot of laundry. So I always feel like doing this first is a really good way to get started, get kick-started, because that way the machine is working while you're working and doing other things. So I always try and get laundry on first thing in the morning and first thing during my power hour. I have sorted out the washing into a load, and now it is time to put in, I'm very excited about this, my first reusable colour catcher. I've been using the disposable colour catchers before now. These have been recommended to me. It kind of looks like a flannel, so I'm chucking that in, and I'm hoping that that will work to stop the running of the clothes. We've got some unstoppables for the wash, and now a little bit of Method Cleaner. This is new to me as well. Method Cleaner fabric wash and Method Cleaner fabric softener. Trying these out for the first time. I bought these in my Amazon haul, my cleaning haul, which I shall link up in the cards now. I'm just putting this wash on a very quick, like a 20-degree quick cycle. I do find that lightly soiled clothes, as in clothes that have been worn but aren't really dirty, just need a really quick refresh. It keeps the clothes kind of newer for longer. Obviously, if they're really dirty, they need a much longer wash. But for things that just, not that dirty at all, quick washes, more economical, better for the environment, cheaper, all the good things. So I'm just rolling up, that was a wet bag. I've got some bedding that needs to go upstairs. That's going out to the laundry room. That's Zara's tongue. I'm gathering up all the other bits and pieces which need to go in the next load. These are sort of nappies. They're not nappies that have like been used that much. She just wears them over her knickers now for a nap, and some flannels and things that are going to be washed without fabric conditioner and with some sanitizer. So all my cloths and things will go in there to be washed as well. So now it's time to just tidy up the laundry room a little bit. These are all Zara's nappy wraps which go over her nighttime nappies. She is potty trained during the day but still wears nappies at night, and as I had cloth nappies, she's still in cloth nappies at night. So if you want to watch my cloth nappy video, actually I will link those videos. I've got a whole cloth nappy series up in the cards now if you're interested in that. So now it's just tidying away the last of the bits in my big slidey cupboard that I've got. Zara found some socks and randomly wanted to wear them, so keep her happy. Now, as the children have been ill, it's time to put away these syringes. This is like a drying rack thing. I'll get back to the drying rack thing. Method Cleaner. This was also in my Amazon haul. The pink grapefruit smell smells amazing. Shame we haven't got smell-o-vision. It smells great. Anyway, that thing that looks like grass was for drying kind of bottles and things when the children were little, but now I use it for drying plastic things, and also it's really good for drying those syringes. And PS, top tip, keep all the syringes. When you get Calpol and Nurofen and stuff, when your children are ill, you're going to be glad of those syringes. Keep every single one of those things. We have been through so many syringes recently because you don't want to double dip the medication, do you? Anyway, back to cleaning. Just giving the sink a little shine. The pink grapefruit's like a multi-surface cleaner, so I've just wiped down all the units with that, and now it's time to kind of just vacuum up the floor in this little area. I just want to get this one room done. Zara wanted a duster, so I've given her one of those. She thinks she's helping cleaning now. She's gone to clean something. I'm just going to wipe around, this is such a small room, I'm just going to wipe around the corners of the room with a little bit of multi-surface cleaner and a microfiber cloth, just along the edges where kind of dirt and grime collects. This is kind of a high traffic area. It's where we take our bins out to the back. I'm in and out all the time doing laundry, and bits of like washing powder and stuff get dropped on the floor, things that fall out of clothes, and then that cloth is going in there with the other stuff that's going to be washed and sanitized. So that stuff will go on a hot wash with sort of nappy sanitizer or Zoflora or something in there to sanitize all that laundry. Next, I've grabbed one of my curver baskets to gather all the stuff up. That dress was going upstairs. Zara decided she wanted to wear it, so she's wearing it instead. But she's happy now, so that's all that matters. I can carry on cleaning. She is thinking she's helping with her little duster and wearing her Rana dress. So gathering all the bits that don't belong in the kitchen. Let me know in the comments, do you find things just end up everywhere that don't belong? These are the syringes I was talking about. Gather them up, keep them in one place. You'll be glad of them when your children are ill. Anyway, back to my question. Do you find that in your house you constantly are moving things back to the room they belong in? Those baskets are an absolute lifesaver for me. But my family just love leaving things where they don't belong, honestly. Anyway, so I'm now going to tackle the worktop, the countertop. Now this is kind of like a high crumb and dust area, so I'm moving all this stuff first. It's where the bread bin lives, where the toaster lives. It's amazing how many sort of bits of crumbs and things collect here. So I'm going to move all the bits out of the way and work around. Going to wipe down all across the tiles, all behind where the bread bin goes, the phone. Not that we even use the phone, I must admit. I don't even know my own phone number. We actually only have that phone for the broadband, and I guess in case we ever needed to dial 999, because I don't think I've ever made a phone call on it, honestly. True story. So do you still use a landline, or are you all on mobiles? Because I don't know, wonder if our house is a bit weird like that, or if nobody else uses their actual house phone anymore either. Anyway, back to cleaning. So putting all the bits and pieces back where they belong. I do also find my toaster, gosh, it just sheds crumbs. So I just like to try and shake all the crumbs out of it, because if I just move it and put it back, I'm going to anti-bac. This is the other method cleaner. This one smells like wild rhubarb. It's amazing. If I just sort of move the toaster and I don't give it a good shake out and clean down, the crumbs just kind of explode out of it. Honestly, it's insane. Really drives me mad. So I have emptied out the crumb tray of the toaster, and I've given that a little anti-bac wipe, because I figured, crumbs can't be terribly hygienic if they're collecting there for some time. And then I've put back the toaster. Now I'm pretty confident it's not going to malt any more crumbs over my freshly wiped worktop. Freshly wiped worktop, can't even say that. Anyway, on to cleaning the sink. I've given it a little spray down, and now I'm going to give it a little wipe around. I am actually going to put my gloves on. Now, I don't always put gloves on for cleaning. I don't always remember to, but I do try to put gloves on if my hands are going to get especially wet, because my skin's quite dry. And I do find, if I'm doing kind of like dry cleaning, if that makes sense, like just spraying worktops and wiping with a dry cloth, I don't always bother with gloves. But anything where like my hands are getting soggy, I do try and remember to put gloves on. It does protect your skin. Do try and remember to do it, people. I'm sort of talking to myself as much as I'm talking to you. But see, look, I've already taken the gloves off. I honestly forget to, I take them off to, move the camera or something, and then I forget to put them back on. Need to wear gloves more. And then also what people I think forget to do sometimes is wash the gloves. After you clean something yucky, you've got to wash and sanitize the gloves, haven't you? Always remember to do that too, people, otherwise you're just spreading yucky germs all over the place. Anyway, I'm just putting away some of my other ones, some of my other method cleaners, which I haven't tried yet, but were from my haul. I have tried the pink grapefruit, which I'm in love with, and the wild rhubarb, which just smells divine. So I am really, really loving those two at the moment. Let me know which of the method cleaner smells you've tried and which ones you're liking. Right, now I'm going to tackle this rather icky, disgusting hob. This is where this method cleaner stuff's going to be put to the test. This is supposed to be a good multi-surface degreaser, and this bit of the hob is utterly yucky, disgusting, really, really gross. So this is only a speed clean. I haven't got time to really do the entire hob. If I had a bit more time, I would take all the sort of metal bits from the top of the hob, what are they even called, those metal bits, and clean them all individually. But for now, for today, I'm just gonna sort of make my peace with just kind of doing the underneath bits where all the gunk has slid down and gone disgusting. As you can see, we use the hob on the very far right quite a lot, and then as it goes further left I don't use it as much, so it's less gross and kind of the colour it's supposed to be. So far, I must say, I'm impressed with this method cleaner. It is doing the degreasing kind of well. I kind of normally have to resort to using the pink stuff or something quite strong on the hob to get it looking kind of clean at all after it's been really gunky. But I think, for a quick once over, the method cleaner in the pink grapefruit has done itself proud. So well done, method cleaner. It's doing well on the degreasing. I'm quite pleased, I must say. Onto the front of the cooker now. I'm just going to give it a little wipe over once I have got a new cloth, because as I said before, I do go through a lot of these cloths. I have a lot of these microfiber cloths because I find that once you've cleaned a couple of things with them, it's all soggy and you're just wiping gunk around the kitchen. So I used to use loads and loads of kitchen roll, and I just found that A, expensive, and B, wasteful. These microfiber cloths are amazing. They're a really good investment. They're not that expensive to buy if you buy them a pack of 10. In fact, I'll link mine below. And if you use them and then just sanitize them in between, and then you sort of never run out of them. They dry super quickly, but you do need quite a few of them if you're going to do power hour cleaning, and you're going to really sort of go through the cleaning. You're really going to clean hard for an hour, especially if you can do a whole house clean. You really do need quite a few of these cloths. but I still think it saves you money in the long run, if I'm honest. Now I'm going to wipe down the table. I do get my teenager as part of some of his jobs to wipe the table after we have a meal. But, you know, sometimes it needs an additional going over. It's the getting the children to help. Doesn't necessarily mean they do an amazing job of it, but it doesn't mean they shouldn't do it just because they don't do it well. Because, you know, they've got to learn, haven't they? Do you get your children to help out around the house? Let me know. My children do, I've talked about this before, help out with kind of age appropriate helping. I think it's good for them, and mostly they quite enjoy it. Well, I think they quite enjoy it anyway. I'm now going to go round the edge of the floor. I'm going to run out of time to like do the whole floor because my power hour is reaching its end. But I'm just going to go round the edges of the kitchen, if I can find the right angle with the camera, and do these sort of areas that kind of just get like a build-up of gunk, like around the dishwasher, stuff that's been splattered in, and there's just stuff that you can't even reach with, like, if you just mop it. It's just, you're not doing a good enough job, you know. Next job is to empty the dryer so that we can put more clean stuff into the dryer and dry it off. I'm sorting the clean washing into our boxes. There's one box for each member of the household, and then another box for towels and another box for cloth nappies. The dry stuff goes directly into there. Ooh, don't forget to empty the fluff, people. The dry stuff goes into there when the boxes are full. They get given to the relevant person, and that person puts their own things away. I'm now sorting the wet washing into one basket of washing to go upstairs and be hung up in the airing cupboard. That stuff gets hung on hangers. And the other basket of stuff to go into the dryer. So then I'm also using these dryer eggs, which I'm quite liking actually. I think they are speeding up the process of drying. And now I'm going to do a load of all the cloths and towels and things that need a nice hot wash and a big load of sanitizing. I'm doing a big scoop of fairy. And then I'm also going to add some Miofresh, which is a nappy sanitizer, which means it sanitizes and kills all nasty bugs on anything in that load, and a nice little scoop of Unstoppables to make it smell lovely too. And then that is us at the end. Thank you so much for watching. If you've liked this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. We post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 p.m. That's right. If you want to watch more speed cleans, they're just down here, and my latest video is just over there. Well, it's over there actually. Say bye. Zara, say bye-bye. Bye. I am starting this power hour by popping some Domestos, which is just a bleach, down below. I'm doing this in my ensuite toilet and also in the children's bathroom, and that way hopefully I'll get time to clean the full bathrooms fully, but if I don't, at least that bleach is doing its trick to clean while I'm not cleaning, and then I will just flush that later when it's had a chance to do its magic. Next job for me is to fold some bedding. This has been through the washer and the dryer and it just needs to go away. We have a massive bed, as you can see. It's a super king size bed, so the bedding's huge. I fold it as best I can, I'm not too fussy with it, and I don't iron bedding. Full disclosure, confession for me, I don't iron bedding. Do not have time in my life for that. But I fold it up and then it gets stored inside a pillowcase, and this is a top tip, top hack. If you've got a set of bedding, be it like a little single set of bedding or massive bedding like this, if you fold it up neatly, I like to KonMari fold it into thirds, and you know, so it's reasonably neat and tidy. And then you stash it inside the pillowcase, and that way you know when you grab that pillowcase, there's everything you need inside it, the sheets, the pillows, everything. It's all in one place. You're not having to hunt everywhere for it, and that is going away in my airing cupboard. My next job is to decant the 24, or it feels like 24 million toilet rolls that I have bought, because let's face it, big family, may as well buy in bulk, and quite frankly it's cheaper to buy in bulk anyway, so it's much cheaper to buy the toilet, it's cheaper per toilet roll to buy them that way. And I'm just decanting those into a basket in my airing cupboard, and then I'm putting away some laundry that is clean and dry, and that has been hung up. I tend to find a lot of stuff accumulates on my kind of door handle, especially in my bedroom. Stuff gets dumped there and that just needs to be put away. I'm popping away my husband's stuff that he's left there. Yes, he likes to, there's a little dumping area that he likes to put things. Anyway, never mind, let's put it away, shall we? Out of sight.
and try and have some clean surfaces. He's like, he can't see his own mess, bless him. You can see everyone else's mess, but not the stuff he's dumped. Next job is to repack the swimming bag. So this stuff has just come out of the washing and I'm folding it away, and it doesn't go away into cupboards and things. It gets packed directly into the bag for next week. I like to KonMari fold the towels, so fold them into thirds in these little kind of triangle parcels, so they're nice and easy to grab and they don't take up too much space in the bag. And then for their swimming, the stuff they wear when they come out to swimming, for each of them, each of the 3 little ones wears a dressing gown. And then into those dressing gowns, I pack their pajamas. So they have like long-legged pajamas, a pair of socks and a pair of pants. And then I roll them up and I pop them into the hood of the dressing gown. So then when they come out of the water, I just grab a little parcel, hand it to each of them and say, hey, put on everything in there. Oh, and look, do you know what? I forgot the girls' socks. So I'm going to shove those in the parcel afterwards. But that really does save rooting through the bag, thinking, have I got it all? William's got these lovely fluffy pajamas, which I picked up in the Primark haul, which I shall link in the cards now. Those are rather lovely. And then all of that stuff that I've just packed, plus their bathers and goggles, get packed directly back into the bag, and I do that ready for swimming, which is, it's not for a good number of days yet, but at least it's all ready to go. Next job, I'm going to have a bit of a declutter. Now these boxes next to the loo in my ensuite are supposed to be kind of for toiletries and things that have been bought, so like new toothpastes and toothbrushes and things like that. But do you know what? They've just turned into a bit of a clutter magnet, so I'm having a bit of a sort out. As you know, if you've watched my decluttering videos, the only way I can make myself declutter is by tipping it all over the floor, and then there's kind of no way back. I have to tidy it up then because I've made a mess. I find if I open a drawer and just start picking things out, then I very quickly close the drawer again and think, oh, I'm so not in the mood for this. So by tipping it all over the floor, it does make me tidy up properly. It forces me to, it's like going on a bear hunt, isn't it? Can't go over it, can't go under it, whatever. Have to go through it. So yeah, all this stuff's coming out too. As you can see, most of this is like clean, like not clean, like new toiletries. But some of these toiletries have been in there such a long time. That blue thing I just threw into the bin ready to go and be recycled were like those sticks you wee on when you're pregnant to check your protein levels, and my youngest is 2.5, so clearly I've not used those for a while. I also realised how much stuff I've actually got. I keep picking up new packs of toothbrushes because we use these toothbrushes, I like to have spare ones, especially when we're going away, we have new toothbrushes and things. But it's only when you sort of do a bit of a declutter that you realise, stop buying things really, but you've got loads of them already. So this is the sort of objective for this this kind of little portion of my power hour. As you can see, I've got quite a lot of sun cream, for example, like bottles and bottles of it lined up at the back of that box, which I didn't realise how much I had because it was all just jumbled up. We've got numerous bottles of shower gels and things, and we do need, don't get me wrong, we need spares in stock ready for when we run out. But I just end up, if it's not organised, buying more stuff when I don't need more stuff. There we go, I've gathered all the clean, fresh toothbrushes together and popped them in there now. So at least I know I've got loads, and there they are when I need to grab them. I don't go hunting around for them. So that's a little bit of a declutter done. Now it's time to grab all the dirty mats and towels and things and take them out of the bathroom so I can give it a good clean, and those can all be washed. I am using Zoflora. This is a spray bottle with a capful of Zoflora and some water, topping it up, look how disgusting that is, to wipe the windowsill and the window frame, which is quite gross, and then the top of the toilet too. And Zoflora has some nice disinfecting properties. Can't speak today. Zoflora has disinfecting properties. Now onto some Star Drops white vinegar spray. This is stuff that's fantastic on glass. I love the finish it has, but you know what? I do not like the smell because my whole house ends up smelling of vinegar. So yes, it does the job. It's good at what it does, but it just stinks. So I'm in two minds. I need to find a better glass cleaner that does the job just as well, but doesn't honk of vinegar. I just, honestly, not a fan. So now I have bothered to put my gloves on finally, to use a bit of Flash Bathroom and to get my little scrub buddy pad out. I do like the Scrub Buddy. I did a little video, if you want to check it out, it's in the cards now, about the differences between Scrub Buddies and Minkies and other Amazon alternatives. You can check that out and see what I thought of those, because I have got a few different varieties of them if you're thinking about making a purchase. So yeah, I'm just using a bit of Flash Bathroom, wiping around the sink. Sometimes I wipe around the sink with just a bit of water and one of these Scrub Buddies. Certainly if the children in the bath or something, I don't want to use chemicals, but today the sink at least is having a good clean because it was a bit gross and grim. Now a bit of Flash Bathroom on my shower in the ensuite. So I'm going to pull all the toiletries that are currently in use off the shelf, give everything a bit of a wipe over, the shelves, the tiles, the shower head itself. Oh, this bit gets quite disgusting. There we go. All the shower hose gets quite gross and grim. And then I'm going to use the shower head itself to clean off and rinse off the rest of the chemicals that I use. Sometimes I do this just before I get in the shower because then I don't get it all over my clothes, but today I've just taken off my socks so I can actually stand on in the shower tray without get my socks all soggy basically. But I do often change into like older clothes or comfy clothes or whatever to do cleaning. Today I haven't. I was just trying not to get chemicals on my jeans because it absolutely ruins them. Now onto the toilet. I tend to go to the toilet kind of last-ish because you can use cloths and then use them on the toilet and then put them in the wash, but you can't use them on the toilet and then use them anywhere else because it was gross, isn't it? So I'm cleaning out the toilet. I tend to use blue for the bathroom, for the microfiber cloths. I mean, they all get sanitized anyway. They all get washed on a really hot wash, and I use nappy sanitizer and also Flora in the washing machine with them to sanitize them so they all come out perfectly hygienically clean. Now I've cleaned the toilet with that toilet brush. I'm spraying a bit of Flora onto it to sanitize it and then washing my hands. That's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm actually washing the gloves with anti-bac soap so that I can take off the gloves and they will be nice and clean, and then I'm drying my hands in a clean, dry microfiber cloth. So I'm then going to use that microfiber cloth to do the floor. So the gloves are now clean because you don't want to get toilet muck all over everything else I'm cleaning. And I'm going to clean the towel rail with this duster, and I'm going to clean the floor with my Flora spray and some microfiber cloths. The bucket you can see I'm using is an old nappy bucket, and I just use that to store the cloths in between washes. So I gather them all up in there. I mean, you can use anything, but I like that because it's got the lockable lid. And when I'm doing a big clean, I do go through a lot of different cloths, and then I can chuck them all in the machine with a bit of sanitizer and give them all a really good wash. So now, as you can see, sometimes I do use, I've got my thing, Mrs. Hinch calls it Vera, doesn't she? It's a 1-2 spray. But today I'm just finding it easier to just spray and wipe the floor and actually just get down on my hands and knees and wipe it. This is not a massive room, so it's easy enough to do that. At least I can be quite thorough and get into the corners and things by doing that. The bathroom is nearly done, just doing the last kind of portions of the floor, and then I can go and get the boxes that I carried out to make space and bring them back in and put them where they live, next to the toilet. And now I am just going to finish off the bathroom by doing a little stamp using the bottom of the tap, and it just looks nice, doesn't it? It finishes off the bathroom. I feel like it is clean. I know someone will use the toilet roll in about 2 seconds and spoil my little stamp, but never mind, it makes me happy. So I'm just going to finish doing this entranceway to the bathroom, wiping behind the door, getting all the cloths, bunging them in the nappy buckets. They're ready to take down stairs and wash, and that's the bathroom pretty much done. And now here's Zara with a blanket on her head. Apparently that is because she is currently Princess Jasmine. So you'll see in this speed clean, I will only be focusing on key areas, namely the entrance hall, because obviously they will be coming in through the front door. I just want to tidy up the living room where we'll be sitting. We'll be spending time in the kitchen because they're coming over with their children and the children are going to have some tea. And the kitchen just looks a bit of a mess and the surfaces are a bit grubby and there's just so much stuff out. So I'm going to start by cleaning the kitchen surfaces, and
before I can clean them, I've got to clear them up, because this breakfast bar, as much as I try and keep it clear, has become a bit of a dumping ground. I'm using one of my trusty curver baskets to gather all the bits and pieces up to get them out of the way. Now, when you are speed cleaning for guests, it's not necessarily the way you would normally put everything, all the way away into their homes. It's just a case of putting stuff out of the way to sort of sort out later. So it's kind of it's an interim clean, isn't it? So a lot of the stuff I just popped in the basket is just to go upstairs and deal with later. I will not be doing that till after they've gone. Next job is wiping down the surfaces. Now, I am pulling this stuff out just because the toaster has left so many crumbs everywhere. It just needs a good old empty out every now and again. I've got my diluted Zoflora in the spray bottle and a microfiber cloth, and just wiping down the surfaces just to make the granite all shiny and sparkly. And it doesn't take very long to just sort of move these bits and wipe around them, but it does make the impression of the kitchen of just being like super clean. So I'm not going to go into every kind of corner, but this area, as we kind of sit around the breakfast bar when I've got guests over, I do feel that is a bit that does need to be kind of clean and clear, and just, it's an important area. Whereas perhaps other corners of the kitchen I'm not going to be so fussy with. So it is all about, when you've got guests coming, which bits are they really going to see, and just cleaning those bits. So I've got my, I'm going to wash down the sink next, because again, the sink is looking a bit gross and disgusting, and I've just emptied all those crumbs into it. Before I do that, I'm just going to wipe down the windowsill, which is mostly just dusty, to be honest, but in the interest of speed cleaning, because I really haven't got much time, I'm just going to use the same products. I'm not going to get loads of different products out. I'm just going to use clean cloths whenever they get a bit dusty. So that's the windowsill wiped down, obviously because it's Zoflora I'm using. It smells great. I often forget to put rubber gloves on, but I am finally putting some on at this stage. I've just seen I've got out another cloth because that one's a bit dirty, and now we're using my Dishmatic. I like to use this to do the initial wipe down of the sink. It's just a little bit of washing up liquid. You can use it to wash dishes with as well, but I actually like it to give the sink a once over when it's a bit gross. I kind of like to wash it down with the washing up liquid out the Dishmatic before I then sort of, in this case I'm going to use Zoflora. I do different products potentially on other days, but like I said, today it's all about doing it as quickly as possible, so I'm giving it a little wipe over with Zoflora. I'm using my Scrub Buddy, which is like an alternative to the Minky that Mrs. Hinch uses. If you check up in the cards now, then I have got another video which compares the Scrub Buddy with the Minky with the Amazon dupes, and you can see which was my favourite, how they compare price-wise, usage-wise, all that kind of thing. So check out that video. I'll also link it below so you can watch it after this one if you like. So I'm just going to make sure that the sink is all nice and clean, giving it that little wipe over with the Scrub Buddy. And now I'm going to stick a cap full of Zoflora in both sinks. One sink is the waste disposal and one sink is like a normal sink, and pour boiling water over it. So that'll disinfect the sponge I've just used, and it will also make the kitchen smell amazing. Look at all that steam coming out, just making my kitchen smell great. So yeah, just going to finish wiping down the rest of the granite on this kind of section, and then put away some other bits. That's my husband's lunchbox that he's left out, and just try and clear up a bit and wipe around a little bit around these jars. See, I would normally, if I was doing a full kitchen clean, like pull out the microwave and everything, but that's like a corner that no one cares about. I'm just wiping in front of it because it's all about being quick today. Laundry room needs a bit of a tidy up because you can see it from the kitchen. There's a glass door, which is a bit unfortunate. So this laundry room does need sorting. I'm putting away the cloths, putting away the empty curver baskets, which stack. There we go, there they are. They stack nicely and they fit into my big like slidey door cupboard thing in my laundry room where I keep them. And then these are just Zara's night nappy wrap. She's out nappies in the day, but she's always a nappy at night. So they're just the ones that have been washed. There's just all these other bits of cleaning products that I've been using that I haven't put away because I've been busy and just not stayed on top of it. So they're all going away. In fact, one or two of those actually belong in the other sink, but because this is a super quick clean, I'm just shoving them away, out of the way, as opposed to putting them in the other sink where they kind of belong. This is my sort of dish draining rack thing for plastic items that come out of the dishwasher. It was actually for when Zara had bottles and things when I was expressing, but it's still quite a handy kind of dish draining thing, so I kept that and I think it's kind of cool and pretty. I will link that below actually if you want to check those out. Next job once I have finished cleaning this surface, will be a wipe over of these surfaces, and I shall just quickly do this sink as well. This sink doesn't get that dirty because I don't have food in it or anything. More sort of dusty than anything because it doesn't get used that much. But as I said, this room, although it's not a key room that people are going to be going in, you can see it through the glass door, which is a bit of a pain, isn't it? So it's got to be done because my guests will see all my mess otherwise. So there we go. The dish rack drainer thing is now empty. That can go away. Next job, I'm going to stick another capful of Zoflora down the loo in the downstairs loo. I'm not doing a full bathroom clean in here. I'm doing a sort of a make it look good. So I'm tidying up all the shoes. I'm not like, sometimes I would go through these shoes and put some of them upstairs and things. I'm literally just tidying them up a little bit and putting them away. Any shoes that have been left in the hall, putting away, and just sort of straightening them up so they don't look so awful, rather than being kind of thrown all over the floor as they've been left. Next job, I am going to do the little trick with the toilet paper, because even though I haven't given my bathroom a really good clean, now it looks like I have, because I've just stamped it, look, with the tap, and it looks like, oh look, she must have cleaned the bathroom, she's done that to the toilet paper. Good trick, good little trick, especially if you don't have time to clean properly. So I'm just using Zoflora again. Like I said, normally I'd use different, I use Flash Bathroom for the bathroom, but I'm just using what I've got. I am using a different cloth. I'm just wiping over. I have swapped over the hand towel as well, because I do think a fresh hand towel makes it kind of look clean. I am giving the toilet a quick wipe over, and then that's going in the wash, and then I'm washing my rubber gloves, because once you clean the toilet, you've got to wash your rubber gloves same as you would your hands. Next job, making sure the entrance hall is really clear. It has had a load of clutter dumped in it. It's not supposed to. My family are not supposed to do this, yet they still do. I'm going to give a really, really super quick dust over the pictures and the table in the hall. And then it's just all about clearing up these last bits and pieces. Some of them I'm hiding in my desk, some of them I'm hiding in a cupboard in the kitchen, other things are going in that curved basket to go up the stairs. And then I've got some bits in the living room. That stuff needs to be given to a friend. I've got that high chair which needs to be given to a friend who's having a baby. I'm literally just hiding it behind the door so that no one can see it. I'm straightening out the cushions. I always think straightening out the cushions makes everything look nice. I'm spraying a tiny bit of Zoflora in there just to make it smell good. I'm not even going to vacuum in there because I'm running out of time, but I am going to vacuum the entrance hall, partly because it makes a really good first impression, and partly because this is where most of the dirt in my house sort of accumulates. We always make the children take their shoes off, so the rest of the house doesn't get too bad carpet wise. They only eat at the table and they only wear shoes in the entrance hall, but the entrance hall does get super grubby. So when I'm doing a full clean, obviously I vacuum the whole house, but for the purpose of today I am just doing the hall, and I'm going to spray some Zoflora on the mat, because then it makes a really great first impression with smells. If the house smells clean, it feels clean. I'm now using my Vileda 1-2 spray to spray the floor with, you guessed it, some diluted Zoflora, and that kind of disinfects the floor. It makes it all clean, shiny, gets any yucky marks off, and it makes it smell good too. I'm also doing the laundry room just as I'm in there, and look how gross. See, look all that grossness that was on my floor. And do you know what? I'm not even going to rip that off and put it in the wash yet. I'm just going to hide it in the cupboard and take it off and put it in the wash later, because I don't have time. Next job, I'm literally straightening out the what are they even called? The kitchen towels, because then the kitchen looks tidy and clean. So see, that looks so much better than it was, just not so cluttered, clean surfaces, smells amazing. I know we don't have smell-o-vision, but it smells so good in here. And then that's the laundry room, again looking clean and clear, so if anyone sticks their head in there, that's fine. The living room, which wasn't too bad, it's just looking a bit higgledy-piggledy, much better. Downstairs loo, which again was a right old state and was just a bit sort of dusty and gross, is now clean, smells good, and sort of reasonably clutter-free, and the entrance hall is looking nice too. Let's start by taking a look around at what needs to be done. Bedroom, not too bad, bed needs tidying up, but just really needs a good clean. Zara's room, oh dear, what a mess. Yes, it needs cleaning, but first it needs a massive tidy. Bella's room starts off looking not too bad, and then look at all that mess, just stuff dumped There's so much stuff dumped on the landing, dressing up clothes, and those cushions are things that Zara has weed on, and I've washed them, I've not put them back properly. The playroom's a bit of a tip and it really needs a clean. It really has been cleaned in longer than I'd care to admit. The kitchen, again, isn't as untidy as it could be, but really needs a clean. The laundry room, which is a very busy room as we know, needs a living good sort out and clean. The lounge, which is normally my super tidy child-free room, is like Christmas birthday-tastic and needs sorting. And then obviously the hall, I've got to take down the Christmas tree and really give that a good clean. And this downstairs loo is driving me insane, and I haven't even shown you the bathrooms on the top floor, but all that needs doing too. So I'm going to start by taking down the Christmas tree. Feel quite sort of emotional really. This is the last time we're having a Christmas tree in this house, because by Christmas 2020 we will have moved to our new house. If you haven't caught it yet, we're doing a full renovation project, so I will link that in the cards. So I'm just taking away the kind of special Christmas decorations that the children have made and things, and putting those separately, because these red Christmas decorations will not match our new house. So they have been put in a bag ready to give to a friend. She said she would like them. I'm taking out the presents that have been left under the tree that haven't been given to friends yet, we still need to catch up with. And then I'm going to wrap up the lights. Now I'm using half of a Christmas wrapping paper innard thingy, what are they called, tubes, and I've cut a little slit in it. I've tucked the end of the lights in one end with the slit, and I'm wrapping the rest of the lights round and round and round, and that should stop them getting all mucked up and tangled before next year. So by wrapping the lights up, you could use the sort of the full length of the tube and then they would sort of fit better, I guess. But I'm using half a one because it's got to fit into this bag with the Christmas tree, which I'm showing you now. These are the bags that I use from Jojo. I shall link them below, which they are brilliant. I use them for loads of storage things around the house. Now, we did used to try and fit our Christmas tree back into the cardboard box it originally came in, and every year it became more and more difficult, lots of gaffer tape and trying to squish it in, until eventually the box gave up the ghost. I now split the tree into these two bags. It's actually easier to move because it's easy to lift. It's just in, two bags. It's not so heavy, so you can split the weight, and it's just easier to put away and just shove it in there, zip it up. I used to store it in a wardrobe in my office, but this tree is actually being sent over to our new house ahead of us to go into the attic, which has got loft boards in it. So even though my husband is still doing up the house and it's not ready for us to kind of put any stuff in yet, the tree is going there to be stored, which is like, it's the first thing to move in. The very first thing to move in is our Christmas tree. So yeah, feel a bit kind of emotional about that. So those are the bags, putting those by the front door to put in my husband's van. Next job is to vacuum this rug. Now this is like a preliminary vacuum of the rug, just to get rid of the bits of tree. Even though it's not a real tree, it still molts bits, doesn't it? Do you find that even if you've got a fake tree, it still puts bits all over your floor? So even though I will have to carry on vacuuming later on, I didn't want the children to walk with stuff through the house. So I've wrapped the precious ornaments in a bit of wrapping paper and put them in a little bag. And then those presents, like I said, I've got two families, two sort of friends with children that I haven't caught up with yet. So they're their gifts. I'm going to sort of hide this upstairs so we catch up with them. Let me know in the comments, do you always end up with a couple of presents after Christmas you have not given out yet, even though you're putting your tree away? Let me know. So now I'm going to put my husband's mail in that box and hide it away because I'm fed up of looking at it, and start dusting with my fluffy duster. Then I'm going to use my Method multi-surface cleaner. This is the lavender scent, to just clean the surfaces and wipe them over with a microfiber cloth. This stuff smells great. So it should make the entrance hall smell lovely. Now I'm going to get down on the floor and dust and wipe this glass shelf, which just collects dust if I'm honest, and really get under the back of this cupboard, which is just collecting gross amounts of dust. And then take those presents upstairs out of the way. I'm now going to give my little desk area a clean. As you know, I do have an office upstairs, but then I do sometimes work in that downstairs under the stairs area while the children are playing in the playroom. And I'm going to give the floor another vacuum all under here. Like I said, I'm going to have to vacuum this area a few times just to stop the bits that I'm kind of agitating out of their place going all over the rest of the house. And I do find that main hallway does collect so much muck. Now it's time to get rid of a couple of baby gates. Zara is getting that much older. I still feel like we need them on the stairs because she's a bit of a liability, but I did used to use the one on the kitchen and the one on the lounge to stop them running in circles, because you can go in circles round and around our house. But we can get rid of some of them now. I am still going to keep the one in the playroom, so I've got somewhere to put her if, you know, the Tesco delivery's coming or whatever and the front door's open. And I'm just going to wipe underneath where the gates were and wipe round some skirting boards and things. Now to tackle the downstairs loo. Now the amount of shoes in here is driving me insane. So I've vacuumed the shelves, given them a little wipe over, and I'm putting back essential shoes that we're actually using. I've got like 3 pairs of ballet pumps in here, and as I'm filming this, it is winter. It is bleak midwinter. There's no way I'd go out in ballet pumps and no socks. I would freeze. So they can go upstairs, and other shoes that people are not wearing can still go upstairs. I'm quite happy to have these near the front door if they're being worn, but if they're, you know, if they're not the right season or whatever, or if they don't fit, they can go, because we can't fit it all in. And then I'm just going to wipe over the floor. This is such a small room, it's not even worth like getting any kind of mop out or the big vacuum cleaner. It's just worth doing with just getting on my hands and knees and giving it a wipe. Wiping around the skirting boards, vacuuming around the skirting boards, and going all around the floor. Now normally I do start with cleaning like the higher up things and then moving to the floor, so I'm doing this a bit backwards for me really, because I haven't yet cleaned the toilet or the sink. But I sort of started doing the shelves and then thought, do you know what, I'm doing the floor now. Zara's step is a really messy item in this room. It really bugs me, but she still needs the step. So, you know, whether in the next house we'll get like a nicer step that isn't so kind of ugly. I don't know. It's Toy Story, it's cutesy, kiddie, whatever, but it just doesn't sort of match, you know. So having said, I'm not going to vacuum the whole floor with a big vacuum cleaner. I'm now going to vacuum the whole floor with the vacuum cleaner. Mainly because I'd managed to do the edges, but there were still bits on the middle of the floor. Now on to a little bit of glass cleaner. Now, I bought this in one of my Tesco hauls, which I shall link up above. I've not tried it yet, but I'm hoping it's just going to be nicer than the one I was using previously, which was the Star Drops. It had great results, but it smelled like vinegar. So this does actually smell nice. It smells like mint, so I guess it's like cleaning the mirror with, you know, toothpaste kind of smell. So I don't love it as much as I love, like, this lavender one's really nice that I'm using, this multi-surface cleaner. Interestingly, I did not go and reach for, I've got the bathroom cleaner in another room. I did not bother to go and get the bathroom cleaner to clean this bathroom. I'm just using the lavender multi-surface, partly because it was there and partly because I prefer the smell to the bathroom one. All of the bathroom ones smell kind of minty, so okay, you know, your whole bathroom will smell like toothpaste. That's great, that's better than normal bathroom cleaners. When it comes to cleaning the bathrooms, I'd like to clean from cleanest areas, so windowsills and sinks, and then do the loo last, and that way I can put my loo cloth in the wash in that bucket straight away, and that is a cat lizard flora down the loo to make it smell amazing. So that is the downstairs loo clean and looking a lot tidier and smelling pretty darn good too. So at least if anyone visits our house, as long as they don't venture beyond the entrance hall and the downstairs loo at the moment, it doesn't look too bad, so I think we better keep going. Now it's time to empty the dryer. I have been using these dryer eggs from Egg Laundry and really liking them. Not forgetting to empty the dryer fluff, people, very important for dryer efficiency and also for not causing fires, etc. Just going to carry on by dumping some of the stuff that I've collected in baskets from downstairs back upstairs and bringing down some more dirty laundry to stick on another load. You guys know I love getting laundry on while I'm doing other things because the laundry is working and, you know, while I am working too. Now a quick word about these reusable colour catchers. I know a few of you recommended them and I have been using them. You can see I've got like a rainbow of grey. Now that is a dark one that I feel like is almost at the end of its life. Now these are how they start out, nice and fresh and white, and the idea is you're supposed to keep the box and you are supposed to mark off how many washes you've done with them on the side. I have never done that. If you ever have done that, then please let me know in the comments. But for now I will be using them and I'm going to try, like I discussed in one of my recent videos, I'm going to try using them as cleaning cloths to do mucky jobs or whatever when they've come to the end of their life, because I feel like using them for 30 washes and then throwing them away is not terribly eco-friendly. Next, on to the living room. I need to really clear this room. I've just taken my ring light out to get that out of the way, ready to take it upstairs. My letterboard, all of Bella's birthday bits, all the toys the children bought in the living room. Because it's been Christmas, we've spent a lot more time in the living room. When my husband is in work, I tend to spend time in the playroom with the children, and that way the living room stays nice and tidy. It's just not been the case. We've had people over, the living room's bigger. So I need to clear off Bella's birthday cards, and now I can give this windowsill a nice old clean, give it a little dust on the shelves and on our little tables and things, all around the pictures. This does get neglected. I don't do dusting in this room as much as I should, if I'm honest. I'm going to shake out this rug. You can't really vacuum it because it's so long. It's like it would just all get stuck in bristles and things. So I'm just shaking it to get all the muck off it and then vacuuming whatever falls out of it, which on this occasion was mostly just dust and dirt, but sometimes it's like toys and money and things. I'm actually moving the sofas and doing behind the sofas, which I must admit pretty grim. Again, I do the middle of the floors a lot. I don't often, or I don't as often as I should, move the furniture and do behind them, full disclosure, and it gets pretty dusty and gross and grim down there. So it does need doing every now and again. But even as a mum, if I can't manage to do it all the time, I'm going to try not to beat myself up about it. But today I'm going to try and do as thorough a clean as I can manage within the time I have, within what my children will allow me to do. So yeah, main floor done, bring the rug back in, and then it's going to be time to sort of straighten out the cushions. I have made my own fabric refresher, sort of like a homemade Febreze, just using this bottle, and then I've put boiling water in with a spoonful of bicarbonate of soda and a few drops of lavender, and given it a bit of a shake around, and then that makes a really nice smelling fabric refresher. I will link all of those items below if you want to get your hands on any of them. So I'm just spraying all the cushions with the fabric freshener and then moving on to the glass in this door, which again, full disclosure, this does not get done that much. I'm using the Method glass cleaner in the mint, and then once those doors are finished, the living room is pretty much done. As although this is intended to be a whole house clean with me, you just never know as a mum when your children are going to force you to stop. So at least now, if anyone visited, the entrance hall, the downstairs loo and the living room are reasonably clean and tidy. Having said that, I've dumped all the stuff in the hall, so let's carry that upstairs out of the way to deal with later. And then we can move on to vacuuming the stairs. Now, sometimes I do use my little Dyson for this, but the battery on it is not that charged at the moment, so I am using my bigger vacuum cleaner. At least I know I'm not going to have it dying on me halfway through. So now let's get on to the kitchen, which again, if people come and visit the kitchen, it's kind of where you're going to hang out a little bit, isn't it? I am trying this Method kitchen cleaner spray in Clementine today. Now, smell-wise, it is nice, but if I'm honest, I still think I prefer, for the kitchen, my favourite is their multi-surface in pink grapefruit. My favourites are definitely the pink grapefruit and the wild rhubarb for sure. Having said that, today I'm also going to try the Method granite and marble cleaner, because obviously we've got granite countertops. Let's see if this is any better. Now, it's said to smell like apples, but have you ever had apple flavour fizzy chewits, which are kind of like a sweet flavoured apple? Like, obviously it's sweet as opposed to apple. That's what it smells like. It smells like apple fizzy chewits. So if you like that, then by all means go for this. It is nice on the granite. It does bring them up nicely. Is it any better than the multi-surface? I don't know. I don't know if it's worth having this as well as the multi-surface. Let me report back. Let me keep using it for a few days and report back. Because at the moment, although it is bringing the countertops up nicely, so does the other one. So I don't know if it's worth investing in all the different types. I'm now going to clean the children's toy kitchen, and I'm using the Clementine kitchen cleaner again, because it is a kitchen, it's in my kitchen, it is a kitchen, and this really gets neglected and not cleaned that much too. Next, I'm going to do something else that I don't do often enough, which is, oh my goodness, look at that, pull out the table. Now the table gets vacuumed underneath all the time. You wouldn't have thought it looking at that, but it doesn't get pulled out as often as it should. So it gets daily, vacuums around the chairs and under it, but you can't really see what you're doing unless you pull it all out. And this bit of the floor is so grim and gross. I'm down on my hands and knees wiping it, because just mopping it isn't going to cut it. And I do feel like you can kind of get a really good clean by sometimes just actually wiping it as if it was a countertop. I will get the floor cleaner mop thing out as well. That's a little tiny bit of AstroTurf, by the way, in case you're wondering what that is, which we used to wipe our feet on. And we had our garden AstroTurfed when my husband did it, which was the best thing ever, by the way, because it's like carpet outdoors. But we did keep that little strip just to wipe feet on the way in. Next job is to just finish vacuuming the rest of the kitchen. Now this bit, because obviously it's like an open space, is much easier to clean, less stuff to pull out and what have you, but still gets full of crumbs and things. And then I'm just going to wipe around the bin and the edge of the what are they even called, skirting boards, and under the units and that kind of thing before mopping, because I think once the edges are done, you've really given them a blooming good wipe. The mopping, all this, it's 1-2 spray, isn't it? It's called the Vileda 1-2 spray, with a little bit of Zoflora in it, diluted with water, and this makes this floor smell great. It's much less, not messy, because mopping isn't messy, is it? But it makes the floor less wet. It dries quicker than using a traditional mop. It's just a lot quicker. We're now in the laundry room and giving the whole countertops a spray and doing the floor. And then as I'm using dirty cloth, they're going into my old nappy bucket, as well as my Vileda 1-2 spray cover thing is going into the old nappy bucket to be washed and disinfected and sanitized with the cloths too. So that is the laundry room done. I know it won't stay super tidy for long, because obviously I have more laundry to do, but at least it's clean and tidy. And the kitchen done. Like I said, the kitchen wasn't that untidy, it was just really needed cleaning, and it is now nice and clean, and that makes me happy, because like I said, it's downstairs, it's where people hang out if they come and visit. So if we have visitors now, it's going to be okay. Now with some more laundry, to mess up my laundry room. So I'm just emptying out the machine, splitting things into things that go into the dryer and things that do not go into the dryer. The things that do not go into the dryer have to go upstairs to go into my airing cupboard, where they get hung up to dry. Just running those things upstairs, deal with that later. And as you can see, the hall is, pretty clean and tidy now. It is respectable, so that the lounge, the downstairs loo and the kitchen all sorted. It's time to tackle the playroom. Now, as you know, I'm a big fan of getting the children involved whenever possible. It is not the quickest way of getting things done, but I do believe that it doesn't do them any harm to help to tidy up, especially when it is their own mess. And the playroom is very much their own mess. So is it quicker to do it myself? Probably. Is it good for them to learn to all muck in and tidy up? Yes, definitely. Are they going to enjoy it? Sometimes they do, sometimes they make a game, sometimes they're like, not first. But, I think it's a good, important life lesson for them to learn to tidy up and do kind of age-appropriate jobs to help out around the house. So let me know in the comments, do you get your children to help out around the house or not? Anyway, that was my quick as a flash method. Multi-surface is back out to do this room. I'm just dusting the top of the surfaces and things. This room gets vacuumed a lot. It doesn't get dusted as much as it should, if I'm honest, full disclosure. We tidy it up every day. I vacuum it whenever I'm vacuuming the hall. But dusting, there are some rooms that always get all the TLC and some rooms that don't as much. Yeah, this is one of my don't as much, so whoops about that. Anyway, quick as a flash, the playroom is looking a gazillion times better. Okay, it wasn't quick as a flash, I sped that up a lot, but it's done now. On to another room that is a bit of a disaster at the moment, and that is Bella's bedroom. Now, Bella adores having a tidy bedroom. She does not like tidying her bedroom. She is pretty good at keeping it tidy when it is tidy, but I think as soon as it reaches that critical mass of it deteriorates quite fast. I'm also trying to clear a lot of the stuff that belongs up the attic up to the attic and I've left the little ones sort of making a go of Bella's room while I clear this landing. Back in to help them. Now I want in the next house to have enough hanging rail for her to hang up all of her dressing up clothes, but at the moment she just doesn't have enough hanging space. So some of her dressing up clothes go in those boxes. I mean, I don't know, is it better just to keep them in boxes anyway because it's easier than having to hang them up for children? I don't know, let me know in the comments. What's the best kind of dressing up storage and what do you do for your children? Okay, on to folding bedding. This was all the bedding that I brought up from the laundry room from my mass change the bed session, which was I think the day before we filmed this. I like to fold bedding away a certain way. I like to fold it in half, then in half again lengthways to make a really long, thin sort of shape, and then sort of the way Marie Kondo folds it on itself over and over to make like a triangle, and then that goes inside the pillowcase. So everything that belongs to the bedding set goes inside one of the pillowcases, and then that way when you go to grab a duvet cover set, you know you've got everything you need there without having to wrestle around for like, where's this pillowcase, where's that gone? And I always like to store the children's bedroom in their own rooms, and that way if in the middle of the night there is a situation where they've been sick or whatever, you need to change their bedding, it's all there for them. I don't disturb the rest of the house. Now this is me putting clean pillowcases or cushion covers back on these cushions because Zara weed on them. You know, so that happens sometimes. My bed had been changed the day before, so I'm just straightening it out and then just dusting around along my headboard, that gets dusty, on the TV, all the tops of the surfaces and things, my dressing table, which gets really mucky dusty, and then I'm going to put away these Christmas clothes. So these are packing cubes, I will link them below. And I'm just going to fold away all our Christmas jumpers, Christmas jumper dresses, my sort of t-shirts and things, Christmas on them, all the Christmassy stuff can go away until next year because there is no point in it filling up my wardrobe. I do need to go through my wardrobe, if I'm honest. I've still got some really sort of out of season stuff in there, and definitely when we've moved I need to really make a habit of changing over my wardrobe seasonally so it's not kind of over crammed. And now I'm going to put some stuff away in my wardrobe. So I've got some shoes I'm putting away, and then I've got my kind of my comfy, cozy kind of evening-y wear. I have said before I don't actually wear proper pajamas to bed. I change into like yoga pants and comfy t-shirts and things, and I wear those in the evenings and then to bed. And then, do you know what? If someone shows up in the morning, you're not really in pajamas, you're just in super lazy, comfy, cozy clothes. Trick I picked up when I was pregnant and the midwife used to show up, or when I just had a baby and the midwife used to show up at all hours. Then that is my room vacuumed and looking a lot better. I mean, someone's already sat on the bed since I've straightened it out and mucked it, but never mind, you know, we can live with that, can't we? So I'm now going to vacuum the landing carpet, which gets a bit mucky, lots of footfall around there. You can see the children are tidying up for me in Zara's room and just generally putting things away in boxes. So I'm just getting them all to muck in and, you know, team effort it. They've not done a bad job of Bella's room, have they? They've managed to put the toys away. I did all the hanging up stuff. Again, next house I want to make sure that the children have got hanging rails they can access so they can hang up their own stuff. Now I am dusting, look at all the dust coming off there, the stairs that go up to the top floor, and then I'm just going to re-vacuum all the dust that I just threw onto the carpet. Now the children have sort of tidied the floor in Zara's room. I'm going to straighten out the bedding. The bedding was changed yesterday, so that doesn't need change, it just needs straightening out. And the floor needs vacuuming. I'm running out of time. You can see the curtains are closed. It is because it is dark now. Children's bedroom is fast approaching, so I have not actually dusted in Zara's room. That'll have to wait for another day, but it's been tidied, it has been vacuumed, the bedroom has been straightened out, and the bedding is tidy, so she is ready for bed. So yes, I was being super thorough downstairs, and now it is taking me an eternity to get through the house. So the girls' rooms are tidy, just not quite as thoroughly cleaned as downstairs. But you know, sometimes as a mum, you've got to make decisions on what's important and what you can manage to achieve during the day. Up in Will's room, I just did a couple of his surfaces, his desk and his table, just so they've been really cleaned. I haven't done his mirrored wardrobe. I haven't gone like dusting all around his Lego because that would take a whole day just by itself. But I have tidied up his bed and vacuumed his floor. Now this is a big pile of jeans and things that William has ejected from his room. They are too small or they've got holes in the knees, whatever, and they need to be donated. The ring light finally made it as far as my office where it belongs, and I can just dust on top of some of these Calyx units. Again, this is a bit of a neglected area. It gets done last because it's only, you know, myself that comes up here and Will really. So it doesn't get as dirty, but therefore it doesn't get cleaned as much either. Just vacuuming round the landing, which it has just been in desperate need of doing, and then we're into my office. Now, my office has been a proper dumping ground over Christmas. I am putting away the last of the Christmas stuff. I've got like a Christmas cupboard behind the door, so I'm putting away the Christmas Eve boxes in case the elf wants to fill those up again next year, if the children are good. And then I'm putting away the wrapping paper into that suit carrier that is hanging in that Christmas cupboard. If you're not storing your wrapping paper already, if you're not storing it in a suit carrier, go and do it immediately. It's a game changer. And then I'm using my method. I'm loving the lavender today. I'm loving a bit of lavender. It's making my hair smell nice. So it'll make my desk smell nice. I am wiping over this table that the children use when they do come up to my office with me. I normally work downstairs if I've got them all with me, but when they do come up with me, they sit there and do some colouring and things. And then giving the place a little vacuum over, and that's the top floor done. The time is really getting on now. The office is done, the top landing is done, Will's bedroom is done, and Will is actually going to sleep in his bedroom. You can see him there in the darkness. So now I am getting pretty exhausted by this point and sort of losing the will to live a little bit. By this point, my hips are actually hurting again. I had that weird SPD thing when I was pregnant, which sort of made all my hips and everything feel kind of too loose. And I must admit, after having that 4 times, my hips have never really recovered. When I do loads and loads of cleaning, it kind of hurts. So totally random and not really cleaning related, but that's what's going on. So I am actually using, don't know if you caught it very quickly there, the Method bathroom cleaner, the one that smells like mint. Not especially because it's better than the multi-surface. I've tried using it to clean the bathroom with this, clean the bathroom with the multi-surface. So I feel they do an equally good job. But although I won't buy it again because I prefer the smells of the others, I may as well use it up because I don't dislike it. I just don't love it like I love the other ones. I love the other ones. I love the lavender, I love the pink grapefruit, and I love the wild rhubarb anti-bac cleaner. It's just giving the toilet a good old clean with the cloth before I chuck that in wash. And then I don't really have time to fully clean the children's shower, so I'm just spritzing it down. This is the Method Daily Shower Cleaner. It's like a spray and leave kind of shower cleaner, and then that is their bathroom done. I will make sure next time I clean their bathroom that I give the shower a really good scrub, but for today it's just gonna have to do. You know, some days you just have to accept that'll have to do. And on to our ensuite bathroom. First job to pull out all the towels and then start up high with the glass cleaner, the Method glass cleaner, smells like mint, and then the Method bathroom cleaner that smells like mint with my little, this isn't a Minky, this is a Minky equivalent pad. I have got a whole video all about the different cleaning pads that I use and comparing them, like a little review, compare and contrast. I will link that in the cards now. So doing the sink, the windowsill, just wiping around this area of floor, which is really grimy, grubby, disgusting, wiping over the scales, and then onto the loo, and I'm planning to clean the shower while I'm in the shower, which I'm about to take a shower as soon as I finish filming this video. I am starting today's power hour, as I pretty much always do, by getting a load of washing on, and that is because the washing machine is working while I'm working, and then at the end of the power hour I can swap the laundry around if it's finished, so it's a win-win situation. Now what I'm actually doing here is I'm getting on a load of bedding and towels, and I'm adding a scoop of Mio Fresh, which is a nappy sanitizer, but it sanitizes whatever you put in your wash. And when I use the powder nappy sanitizer, I do use a little scoop of Fairy non-bio and some of those Unstoppables to make my laundry smell lovely. I do normally use Method for the rest of my laundry, but I switch back to the powder when I am using stuff that needs to be sanitized. Now time to empty the dryer and put in the bits that need drying, not forgetting the fluff filter, people, because otherwise A, your machine doesn't work efficiently, and B, it's a fire risk.
by all accounts. So do not forget the fluff filter. And yes, I'm pretty sure that's the very official name of what it's called. I'm just grabbing some cleaning supplies, including some of these dusters. Zara likes them for doing dustering, and I need to put those back on my Veleda 1-2 spray thingy. Now, I'm actually going to put these towels in here. I'm going to fold them ready to take upstairs. Now, during my power hours, you'll notice you can either kind of go deep or go wide. It's only an hour, so you cannot expect to do everything. So sometimes I do one room, I can give the bathroom like a really, really intense clean. But for today, we're going wide. So I'm doing a little bit of cleaning. I'm going to start by the front door, obviously after the laundry, and I'm going to work as far through the house in an hour as I can, just straightening everything up. Now I am going to do the windows on the front door, which I don't do that often, not nearly as often as I should anyway. And I'm going to give them a clean with this Method glass cleaner because they just look a bit gross and minging. And this obviously isn't filming very well because, you know, I'm sort of filming into the light, but you can get the gist of it. I am giving these windows a bit of a clean because they're the first impression when you come to our house, and there's no point in them being grubby and a bit gross, is there? So getting those wiped over, and this stuff does smell nice. This is probably the nicest smelling glass cleaner that I've used. It's kind of like a minty-ish smell, not offensive. I'm not fussed on the ones that smell like vinegar. So now the hall, I've kind of done the dusting, or the dustering, as Zara likes to call it. I am going to vacuum. I haven't dusted, you know, I could have gone all around if I was doing like an intense deep clean of this room, I could have gone all around the skirting boards and things, but this is just, like I said, I like a sort of a gentle tidying and cleaning throughout as many rooms as I can get through in my hour, starting at the front door and working through the house in order of sort of priority, I guess, or the order you'd walk through if you were visiting for the first time. So the entrance hall, even if Zara interrupted me now and I couldn't do any more, at least I've done the entrance hall. At least the first impression of the house is looking nice. So when I come home, I think, it's lovely and clean, and then hopefully my family respect it and don't make a mess. You know, we can but live and dream, can't we? So once I have finished vacuuming the hall, again, I'm not like going massively deep, I'm not pulling everything out and like I sometimes sort of do a really deep clean. This is a quick power hour. I'm going to tidy away the shoes. This little shelf is fab for shoes, but my family seem to think that just slinging the shoes in with their eyes shut is the best way to put the shoes away, and it's not, people, it's not. So now I'm going to fold the toilet paper and I just pressed it into the end of the tap, and it just makes it look neat, doesn't it? So I'm now not doing a proper clean. I'm using the towel trick, which is I'm about to change the towels for clean ones. I'm just going to damp the end of it and wipe around the sink with it, because let's face it, if you're going to change a towel anyway, you may as well wipe around with it. I'm going to stick a little capful of Zoflora down the loo and just wipe around with a loo brush, and then also stick a capful of Zoflora in the loo brush holder thingy to disinfect it. And then I'm just going to vacuum around the floor, because this floor mostly gets kind of like bits of shoes all over the floor because it's where the shoes are stored. So I'm just going to give this a really, really quick once over with the vacuum cleaner, and then I am going to head into our lounge, which the curtains haven't even been opened yet. Open up the curtains, and then I'm going to head into the kitchen and tidy up where Zara had breakfast, and just do a little bit of tidying up, you know, putting the bibs away, and then I'm going to grab my Method anti-bac. My Method anti-bac smells like wild rhubarb and it smells amazing. Now I often forget to spray this and leave it for 5 minutes, so I'm going to spray from one end of the kitchen to the other and then go back. I'm not sure if that's a full 5 minutes, but it's better than I normally manage. This stuff, I just can't tell you how good it smells, honestly. It smells divine. So I'm giving all the surfaces a little wipe over with that. Now officially, I did discover this really recently. I've been using this on my granite worktops, which are black granite worktops. So they're blacks, they're probably quite, you know, I don't know, robust. But I've been using this for ages, and it does say on the bottle you're not supposed to use it on granite. So whoopsie. As you can see, it's not done any harm to the black granite. But we have got new white quartz in the new house, so I'm a bit scared to use it on that, because obviously if it's white, can it discolour a bit more than the sort of super hardy black granite? So I don't know, if anyone's got white quartz worktops, what do you use to clean them? What is safe to use on them rather? And you know, I'm just a bit nervous. As much as I love the smell of this one, I might just use it everywhere in the house other than on the new white quartz. Now to vacuum around the kitchen. I don't know if I'm going to have time today to like
to mop the floor. I normally use my Veleda 1-2 spray on it, which I love, and I do use that quite frequently, but today I really want to get through the house. So rather than doing the vacuuming and then the spraying, I think I'm just going to leave that for another day to try and get around some more rooms. Now into the laundry room. There you go. So that's my Veleda 1-2 spray. I normally would do the floors with that as well, but I'm just going to stick the thing on for next time I want to grab it, and I'll do that perhaps later in the day after my power hour or tomorrow. Just putting a few bits and pieces away from the laundry room, and I'm going to spray the stuff that's not supposed to go on the granite. And, you know, so just be warned, you know, just read the bottle and use your own judgment. It's not damaged my black granite, but I wouldn't like to say what it would do to other things. I don't know, because that's what it says on the bottle. So if anyone that works for Method can let me know, I'd be really grateful. Anyway, we're just in the playroom now, tidying up, sorting out the cushions because it just looks like a right mess. Zara's helping. Look how helpful she is, little darling. She's actually helping now by dustering, as she said. She's just outshot. Dustering the table. I have asked her to get down from the table so she doesn't fall off, but she does love these little fluffy dusters that I picked up in a recent haul, and I've had some different versions of them for years. She loves them. Honestly, she thinks they're better than toys sometimes. So now that's the playroom sort of straightened up and tidied. I'm just going to vacuum over the playroom. The playroom doesn't get too messy from like a bits point of view. We don't have shoes in the house, and I don't let them eat in there. So it gets perhaps a bit of dust or whatever, but it doesn't get too sort of bitty. The floor doesn't get too bad in there. It gets a lot of like mess that needs tidying, but it doesn't get too dirty. Now for the stairs. The stairs do get a lot of traffic, very high traffic area. The worst thing I find about the stairs is bits of black off people's socks, like bits of sock fluff all over the stairs. So that's what I've been vacuuming off there. And now we're up on the floor between the first floor and the attic, and I'm dusting off these stairs. Look at the disgusting dust coming off there. So I'm dusting those off with a fluffy duster, and then I'm just going to vacuum up all the dust that's gone all over the floor in a second when I get the vacuum out. Now our bed was sort of made this morning, just straightening that up a little bit, tidying up around my dressing table, putting away the towels that I carried up. They go into my airing cupboard, which is just in my ensuite bathroom, which is that door I have just disappeared into. And then just tidying away a few bits that have been dumped in my bedroom, because apparently my family think it's a really good idea to dump loads and loads of things in my bedroom. It's not, people, it's not a good idea, but that's what happens anyway. Never mind. So just tidying away, and then I think I'm grabbing the vacuum. Yes, I am. There it is. Grabbing the vacuum cleaner and doing this. This is again a high traffic area because the children don't like to go and wee in their own bathroom. They like to traipse through our bedroom and go and wee in our bathroom. So there is a lot of traffic going between our door and our ensuite from all our children liking to use that bathroom rather than their own. So I'm now going to grab all of the towels, and yes, do you know what I'm going to do before I replace that towel? I'm going to take the towel, because it's not stinking dirty, it just needs, changing, and I'm just going to wipe around everything. I'm going to wipe bits of toothpaste that people have dribbled all over their toothbrushes, and wipe around the shelves, wipe around the sink before I chuck it in the wash, because why not? It needs washing anyway. I'm just going to take another section of the towel, and I just wipe the windowsill as well. Now into Bella's room. She's gone to school. My husband has done the school run this morning, and I am tidying. So I'm opening up her curtains, folding her blankets, putting her dollies away. She's got a lot of dollies. She likes her dollies. I think they were having a dolly tea party or a dolly hospital or something, so they were in the wrong place. And I'm folding all these blankets, or blankies as she likes to call them. And the girls love playing with blankets. They make tents out of them, make dens out of them. They put the dollies under them. Honestly, blankies and dusters are sort of their favourite toys at the moment. So that's Bella's room looking a bit tidier. Now I'm going to vacuum the landing, including the manky dust that I threw all down the stairs with the duster. And I'm getting towards the end of my power hour now, but I have sort of covered quite a large amount of rooms in my house. And look, we're taking a towel, wiping the windowsill, wiping it slightly with a damp end, then with the dry end, and then wiping around the sink with another part of the towel before it all goes in the wash. I do feel like if I've collected all the towels up and I've replaced them with fresh towels, everything looks clean, even if all I've done is wipe around the sink. But this is a power hour, and like I said, you can go deep. So I could have spent the hour really deep cleaning one of these rooms, or I can spend the hour running around the whole house, sort of freshening up each room. So that's what I'm doing. Zara has been a very good girl, sitting there in her bed and not actually making a massive mess like she normally does. So, oh look, she's going to duster again. What a good girl. She likes dustering. And now upstairs to William's room, that's his effort of making his bed. May need to work on that, but better than nothing. putting away some clothes he's left out, and just having a little tidy around. I find he will actually keep his room so much nicer if it's tidy to start with. If it's tidy, in fact all of them, if they've got a tidy room, they're far more likely, other than Zara who just enjoys taking things out, to keep it tidy. And as you'll know, if you've watched any of my other Power Hour videos, the very first thing I always like to do is put on a load of laundry. Now I will admit, I did that before I started filming, so sorry I missed that out of filming. Whoops, but I have done it. So the next thing I'm going to do today is to start putting away stuff in my bedroom. I do find that when life gets busy, I think the things that get neglected mostly are my bedroom. So like everyone else's laundry perhaps would be put away, and then maybe mine wouldn't. Maybe mine would be the one left in a basket. So I'm folding away my own laundry, them in leggings and pants and bras and all sorts of socks and things, and putting them away in my drawer because they have been in a basket. I do like to keep little baskets of things inside my drawers to keep them organised. I like all my socks you just saw. And then I like to Marie Kondo fold my stuff. So you can see I am sort of folding them into thirds. If you've seen the way that I do this, it's kind of, you fold them in half and then you fold them into like parcels, like little triangles. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but you can see what I'm doing anyway. So you fold it in on itself in thirds, and then you fold it sort of lengthways and lengthways again, so it makes these little triangle parcels, and it just makes it really easy to store things in drawers. It makes it easy to find things in drawers, and it just means your drawers look neater. And do you know what? Neat drawers make me happy. I feel like if my drawers are neat, then my life feels more organised. Don't know if that's just me. That could entirely be just me. Anyway, so I'm putting all this stuff in my drawers. I do find more stuff fits in the drawers as well if I fold things like this. You will see I did an organising my closet if you're in America, or wardrobe if you're here in the UK video before. I will link that up in the cards now actually. Now the other place that gets troublesome is my landing, because things get dumped on it, and this is what's happened. So the children had been dressing up in things, then that had all been dumped on the landing. Things get dumped over the banister. So what I've done is I've just put it all on my bed, and I'm going to sort it out from here. Now a lot of this stuff is coats. You would see I did this, I think this was Instagram stories actually rather than one of my YouTube videos. I emptied out, we've got a load of coat racks in the downstairs low, and it was just overrun. The coats were just exploding out of that, and I realised half the coats are kind of summery lightweight coats we weren't even wearing. So I've brought them all upstairs to hang up in wardrobes so that there's a bit more space downstairs and it's a bit less chaotic, and then we can pull those coats out again in the summer when we need them. But for now they can go away and be out of sight, out of mind. I'm going to hang up all the girls dressing up stuff. When we move to the new house, I do want them to have rails within their wardrobes that they can reach to get their own dressing up stuff, and do you know what, then they can put it away themselves as well. But at the moment all the girls' hanging rails are really high up, they can't reach them. So if you are organising, you're like redesigning your children's rooms for any reason, or buying them wardrobes, do consider getting them hanging rails they can reach themselves. It will be life-changing. So now I'm just putting away towels, all the stuff that has been brought up from the laundry. All my laundry gets sorted downstairs, as you know, if you've seen any of my laundry routine videos. It all gets sorted downstairs. So when it comes upstairs, it's ready to go away. It's just a case of putting it away, which is what I'm doing now. But like I said, it's been Christmas period, we've had loads on, there's been loads of illness and stuff, and I've just found the house has just got on top of me. There's not been as much time to get things away. Let me know in the comments, do you find this too, that when your house gets on top of you, it's like the more of a pit it becomes, the less respectful everyone is of it, and just the worse it becomes. Whereas when it's really tidy, my family are less inclined to just dump things in a nice clear empty space. If there is already mess, they will dump more stuff on top of it. Perhaps that's just my family, but let me know. So just hanging the rest of this stuff up in Bella's room. Bella's got a bigger wardrobe than Zara, so she has all the dressing up stuff and all the tutus in hers, but as you can see it's really high up, they can't reach that at all, so they can't get it out by themselves, they can't put it away by themselves. But next house, that's been rectified, they're having rails that can reach themselves. So now William's stuff I do just hang on his gate, ready to go up to his room. Now we are downstairs, we are emptying out the stuff that I put on this morning that I didn't film because I forgot to, so sorry about that. This is my laundry sorting system I was talking about. So as stuff comes out of the dryer, there's a box for each family member and the stuff goes into there. Now today, because it is Sunday, I want to make sure everything's ready for the week. So stuff gets put into mine, into my husband's, into whichever box. And then each of the children's, especially, because theirs are quite full, mine and my husband's not too bad. Each of the children's baskets are going to be emptied into a basket. So each of their black boxes, rather, are going to be emptied into a basket.
and then given to each child in their rooms. The boys will put their own stuff away totally. The girls will need a bit of help, you know, because Zara's 2 and Bella's 4. It is quicker to just do it myself, and as my husband is looking after the children today, I'm not really involving them as much because I really just need to get it done. I'm a big fan of making sure the children get involved, but you know, sometimes it, and I don't do this much, I just got to do it myself because it's quicker. So today, not getting them involved as much as normal. Now, as I'm about to carry all this stuff upstairs, I've just noticed these coats were out. They were out because they couldn't have been put away because they were soggy yesterday. They were out to dry. I don't like putting wet coats away with the other coats. I just think it'll cause all damp and all sorts of problems. So I'd left those coats out to dry, and I have just slung them back in the downstairs coat hook kind of area. So now it is time to put away some stuff. Like I said, I normally, even though Zara is not capable of putting away her own stuff, I normally get her to sort of notionally help me, but today it's just got to get done. So this is some of her stuff, her tights. I like to roll up her tights into like little parcels so they're easier to find. I used to just sling them all in, but then I couldn't find anything. Now Zara's pyjama drawer was super duper organised, but as you can see it's looking a bit of a mess, as is the rest of her room, by the way, yikes. But the reason her pyjama drawer is a mess is because when I put her to bed, she quite often gets out of her bed, takes out some new pyjamas and changes them, which means she makes a mess of the drawer, but never mind. So Zara's room is a disgusting tip because the children got up this morning and played in there and made some sort of den all over the floor with all of her stuff. And yes, I normally make them help me, but this has just got to get done today. I'm really out of time. I've got lots of stuff to do later. I just want to get it done. So I'm folding up these blankets. Top tip, Zara's tent does get stuff dumped in it. It's a good place to hide stuff. The children love playing in there, but you know, if you're doing a really quick tidy up, you just want it to be tidy quite quickly. Oh, by the way, I just want to show you this. This is the TB box. There's like a little Lego box that the children have. It doesn't have to be just for Lego, but the children love those. I will link those in the description below because they are fab. They're really good for traveling and stuff. Anyway, I'm folding away these blankets, or blankies as the girls now insist on calling them. They can say blankets, but they decide they want to call them blankies instead, and I haven't got the energy to fight them. So I'm now hanging some stuff up in Zara's wardrobe. I'm pulling out a couple of things. I mean, that is like a popper-up vest thing. Why is that still in her wardrobe? She's been potty trained for a good while. She can't wear those. It's ridiculous. So putting those things away to make some space to hang up. I do need to do yet another declutter of the girls' wardrobes, really. But that'll have to be another day, not this power hour. Tidying up her dollies, which again have been left a bit of a mess, and picking up all the bits I just slung out of her room. So there, her room is now looking not too hideous. Now I can hang up all the stuff that I organised and hung up, you know, the coats and things, the coats I hang on hangers, and then these baskets that have been, some of the baskets are stuff that have been collected from the house, some of the baskets of washing that have been brought upstairs. And look, I found yet more stuff that belongs in Zara's room. See, that pyjama drawer really needs pulling out and sorting out, but she is a nightmare. Honestly, she thinks pyjamas are just dressing up clothes and she likes to change them several times a night. Sometimes she is so funny. So that's her tights sorted, and then these other bits and pieces belong in these drawers over here. So she's got a drawer for skirts, a drawer for kind of the top drawers, just like leggings and things. She doesn't have many leggings. She tends to prefer skirts to leggings, otherwise she whinges like her socks feel funny. And then all these baskets I have emptied. See, all of those baskets were full of stuff and I'd emptied them out. So that's a win. Now I'm going to sort out the swimming stuff. Now I do this on the weekend, even though they don't swim till Wednesday. I like to Marie Kondo, that's not what it's called, it's called KonMari, but Marie Kondo fold the towels, which are into thirds and then over and over again. Can you see? I'm not describing it very well, but you can see what I'm doing. You can see that, can't you? And then I put the stuff to actually swim in, that goes in separately. And then I make these little parcels of dressing gowns. You could do the same with onesies, I guess, but they wear pyjamas when they get out of the pool. I fold their socks and their pants into the pyjamas and then fold that into the dressing gowns and tuck them all away. The reason I like doing this is when they get out of the pool, I can just hand them each a parcel to change into, not like, where are my pants, where are my socks, I can't find, you know, you get the picture. It's much, much easier. And then all of that stuff, it basically goes from the washing machine into one basket and then gets put directly, folded neatly into that swimming bag. Now it's time to tackle the children's bathroom, which if you can see through that glass shelf, you can see it is really skanky, full of toothpaste. My children are incapable of not getting skanky toothpaste all over the sink and all over the shelf for that matter. Their bathroom gets dirty
well, there's twice as many of them. There's 4 of them that use that bathroom. My husband and I use the ensuite, but it probably gets dirty about 1,000,000 times quicker than ours, just as a guesstimate. So I'm just using a bit of the Method Cleaner bathroom stuff. I don't dislike the smell of this Method Cleaner bathroom stuff, but I love the ones I use in the kitchen, the pink grapefruit and the rhubarb. So I'm using this one, the Method bathroom cleaner, just to use it up because I don't dislike it. I'm using it up, but I won't buy it again. I will buy the pink grapefruit for really good cleaning properties and the rhubarb for antibacterial properties because they smell divine, just amazingly divine. And having tried them both out, I would say that the pink grapefruit will clean the bathroom just as well as the other one, as like a multi-purpose one. I don't think I need one specifically for the bathroom, especially since I'm not in love with the smell. Like I don't object to it. Let me know if you've tried the Method bathroom cleaners and how you feel they compare to the other ones, cleaning property and smell wise. But personally for me, I think if something smells nice, now this one does smell nice. This is the Method shower spray. So I'm not fully cleaning the shower. This is like you spray it after you've used the shower kind of spray. So it's like a preventative one. But that's passion fruit. It smells great. These are just toiletries and things that I've bought and haven't been put away because of lack of time. So I'm just going to give this what is it even called? Windowsill. The windowsill a little wipe over. I've got to say, clear surfaces make the place look clean, don't they? And then I'm just going to clean the toilet last because then this minky that I've used to clean the toilet can be put in the wash. And the wash for cloths and things and nappies is that nappy bucket just next to the toilet because everything that goes into that nappy bucket gets sanitized. I am starting this power hour by setting a timer for an actual hour. You'll probably notice that I don't always do this if you watch my videos, but today I've got stuff to do. I've got lots of work to get on with, so I can only spare an hour. So I'm starting off by just tidying up my dressing table a little bit, putting some bits and pieces away and having a little dust around. I'm not using many chemicals and things in this clean because I've got Zara with me. She's got her own little duster. I always find if you've got a toddler and you give them one of these dusters with a reusable head, they love it. They love feeling like they're involved. So now I'm just using the vacuum to do this bit of my dressing table because it's kind of a fabric bit and things, sort of dust and things cling to it that I can't clean off with anything else. As you can see, Zara's 2. She's getting involved. She loves just being with me while I'm cleaning and feeling like she's helping, and I do feel it's good to get her involved even at a young age. I'm starting with the bathrooms. These are pretty much the only chemicals I'm using. I'm literally going to throw bleach down the loo in the 2 bathrooms. So that was my ensuite, and this is the children's bathroom. I have not got time to fully clean the bathrooms and like properly clean the toilets. So I'm just going to put bleach down the toilet, open the windows to sort of ventilate it, and then the toilet will have a proper clean on another day. It does not need to be done every single day, a full thorough clean. I am going to strip out all the towels out of the bathrooms so that they can go on in a wash because they all really need doing, and fresh towels makes the bathroom just feel nice and fresh, doesn't it? So I'm going to pop those downstairs and bring up a few bits and pieces, including some clean towels that need to go away and some of these Scrub Buddy cleaning pads. Now I'm just going to give the sink a wipe over with a cleaning pad and the water because I've got Zara with me, so I don't want to be using really harsh chemicals. She's helping me too. I'm literally just wiping off the worst of the kind of toothpaste and things. When I do a full bathroom clean, as you've seen in some of my other videos, then obviously I use lots of different products and things, but do you know what? Just an interim job, just a little wipe over with water is really better than doing nothing. And again, it's something that your little ones can help you with. This is the kind of thing you can do while they're in the bath, so you can still be keeping an eye on them and just give a little wipe around the place. And it really just helps keep your home kind of at a level. I've noticed just a little bit of toothpaste for some reason on the towel rail, so I'm wiping that off too, and then putting a nice fresh towel out, and then that bathroom is just looking a bit tidier. I'm going to do exactly the same in our bathroom. Our sink doesn't get nearly as bad because, funnily enough, my husband and I do not spit toothpaste all over the sink, whereas my children do like to spit toothpaste all over the sink and the towel rail, apparently. So a nice fresh towel for my bathroom too, and then I'm just dusting that bit on the top of our headboard gets a bit dusty, so I've dusted that off, and I'm just going to finish making the bed, just sort of smooth it over nicely, and that just instantly looks a lot tidier. I'm picking up all these hangers that the children have used. They got dressed in the mornings. These are the little packets that I use for organising Bella's wardrobe, and her uniform gets put out in them, and the socks and pants get put in there for each day. I'm sure you've seen my morning routine video. If not, I shall pop that up in the cards now. But I find it much easier to put all their uniform out for them. I pack it on the weekends, day by day, and then what I find is that they just grab one hanger with all the things on the hanger. They put on everything that they need to wear in that morning. So that's what those little packets were. Bella's taken her uniform out of them each morning and then just thrown them on the floor in my bedroom. So I have now put those away. Now, to tidy up a little bit in Bella's room, Zara's taking the opportunity to play with some of Bella's toys, because Bella doesn't like Zara touching her stuff when she's home. Bella's in school at the moment, so Zara's been playing with her little castle of toys, so I'm just putting all the figures back before Bella notices really that Zara's been playing with them, and just giving it a little tidy up. There you go, that one's falling off, put it back on. Tidying up the books, just generally giving the place a little straighten up. Bella's room gets in such a mess. She really does get it in such a tip. But then when she comes home and it's tidy, or when she's helped me tidy it and it's nice and tidy, she loves it again. So now to do pretty much the same thing in Zara's room. We only recently got back from the school run, so I've putting away the books, opening the blinds, just straightening up her bed, all the stuff I didn't have a chance to do before we left for school this morning. So I did recently do a proper declutter of Zara's room, which I shall link up in the cards now for you to see. So now the cot is gone. There's a lot more space in her room, and space because there's less furniture, and space because there's less stuff. It's just so much easier to keep tidy. Now to put away some of the soft toys. As you know, I store their soft toys in a bean bag without beans in it. So instead of beans, it's filled with soft toys. And honestly, it's been a lifesaver. Hack. If you have lots of soft toys, we were drowning in them. It's a great place to store them. You don't want to have to throw them all away. They want to be able to play with them, but it's a great place to put them out of the way. And then I like to hide stuff in that tent as well, including these blankets. Fold them up. They use them for their bedding. They use them for playing with. They're often having picnics on these blankets or whatever. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Do your children like playing with blankets? Mine do. They're constantly like, their blanket's a cloak, their blanket's a picnic, and all sorts. Now, to put away these hair bands. They've got a lot of hair bands in all various colours for their outfits, and they're not very good at putting them away. So I've been gathering them all up during this kind of power hour, and as well as hair elastics. They get left everywhere, don't they? So the hair elastics live up in those suitcases up there. And then to hang up some clothes, I hang all my washing that needs to be dried, that doesn't go in the dryer, on a rail in my airing cupboard, and then it ends up getting, when it's dry, put on the doors of whoever it belongs to. So this was already done before today, and we just had washing ready to hang up, so I'm just hanging that up. There's a pair of tights, clean tights, I need to go into Zara's room, give those to Zara to put away. And then all this stuff is just stuff I've bought. This was from the last Tesco order that hasn't been put away yet. So we've got new toilet brushes, and then some toiletries and things. Some of them get stored in my bathroom, so that's mint tea tree shampoo. T2 shampoo is kind of nit repelling shampoo, so I quite like buying that because I hope it naturally fends off nits. We're not a fan of nits. But the children do like to rub heads with other children, bring them home, don't they? And then the Flash lives in my cleaning stash in my airing cupboard, and then these other bits need to go into the children's bathroom. Then we've got some towels. I store all my towels in these baskets. I find them easier to keep kind of under control. They become a bit unruly and all explode or out, burst out all over the place if they're not in these baskets. But if I kind of KonMari fold them into those baskets, it's easier to keep it neat and tidy. These are the girls' dressing up costumes we bought in our little shop it with me and haul video, which I will link up in the cards now. And they just haven't been put away yet. And then cardigans just end up taken off and slung over the banister. So I'm tidying those away and hanging those back up in the girls' rooms now. And then it's just a few bits and pieces left out on the landing which need to go away. Some soft toys, the TV box, which in fact I think I put that away once. Did Zara just grab that and bring that out again? I think she did. And then I'm going to grab my cordless Dyson, switch the nozzle over and vacuum the landing. This is kind of a high traffic area, so it does pick up bits of fluff from socks and all sorts. What is Zara doing with her cardigan? That's a very funny way to take off your cardigan, darling. Right, so now nearly done. We're reaching the end of the power hour. Time is a ticking. I'm now going to just go over the floor in the girls' bedrooms because I've tidied up in there, so you can actually see the floor now. Good opportunity to vacuum. It's not kind of a deep clean, as you can see. I'm literally doing the middle of the floor, the high traffic areas. When I'm doing a deeper clean of the rooms, I pull everything out, go behind the bed, go behind the tents. Not today. Today it's all about just keeping it quick, keeping it easy. Now it's time to go downstairs and do a few more bits and pieces towards the end of this hour. Zara, as you can see, has been with me the whole time. She really enjoys getting involved and helping, or she thinks she's helping anyway, that's the main thing. Now just to put away some bits, that's a nappy bucket, which I now just use for sort of dirty microfiber cloths and cheeky wipes, they're baby wipes, so that I use for hands and faces and things. And I'm folding up some of these microfiber cloths that have come out of the wash. I do like to KonMari fold them into thirds and then fold them into these little triangle parcels. I find it's a nice way to store them. I can see what I've got to keep them all tidy, and then they go into one of these baskets in my laundry room, in that shelving unit behind those doors. I do have quite a lot of these. I find that if you've got lots of them, then you're never going to run out of them. It doesn't matter if you haven't had a chance to wash them all yet. So now I'm just on to Zara's night nappies. She only has one nappy a day now, and that's for night time, which is one over her knickers at nap time rather. But she very, very rarely wets that. So one proper nappy a day now, and that's while she's sleeping. So my cloth nappy washing has gone down a lot. These are my cloth baby wipes that we just kind of use for hands and faces now. Putting a few other bits away. Bin bags have been left out. And then I think it's time to wipe down the surface. I'm going to use this Method Anti-Bac cleaner, which I've recently discovered. This smells like wild rhubarb. I don't think I like the smell of rhubarb, but it smells amazing. And once you've wiped the surfaces with it, the smell really lingers. You can wipe the surfaces and go out and, oh look, time is done. Anyway, what I was trying to say is you could wipe the surfaces and go out and come back and they would still smell amazing. So I know the time is done, but I am just going to finish what I'm currently doing, and I am going to shove a wash on because this stuff needs to come out of the machine. I don't like to leave soggy washing in there for longer than I have to. And I'm going to split it into a basket of stuff to go in the tumble dryer. The dryer is still on, so I can't put it straight in the dryer. And then the basket on the right is stuff that doesn't go in the dryer, like bras, like this sort of khakis dress with tulle on it, which you see I washed in this this kind of zip bag to stop any velcro or anything damaging it. My leggings, tunics, things like that I do not put in the tumble dryer, partly because they shrink them, but mostly because it just really wears the fabric. It makes them look kind of bobbly and the colours go funny. And anyway, anything that might wear unnecessarily doesn't go in the tumble dryer. And then I'm just going to throw a load of towels in because I did have the towels that I brought down from upstairs, and I want to make sure they go in the wash. Now there you go, I've overloaded that washing machine a bit. I have a tendency to do that. It's like quite big, but if you put too many towels in at once, they get really, really heavy when they're wet. They don't wash properly. So I am just gonna not overload it, because my washing machine does make horrendous noises if I overload it, especially with towels, especially big thick ones like that. They get really, really heavy when they're wet. So now I'm going to just grab my Fairy, which is my go-to powder. I'm going to shove a scoop of that in, and then I'm going to actually add a scoop of nappy sanitizer, because I've still got loads of this left over from when I was washing a gazillion cloth nappies, but it's nice to kind of really sanitize the towels in the wash. Thank you so much for watching. If you have liked this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 PM. My latest video is just here, and if you would like to watch more speed cleans, they are just down here. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.